What's up? We got fresh coffee. I've been rocking out to Pacifica band the last couple of days, but then today I've been on a Marina kick. I haven't gone to see live performances in a very long time, and I have been wanting to go see The Warning, which is a group. It's a trio of sisters from Monterey who kick ass. They've put out some albums that are just really cool rock albums. But Marina, I have loved Marina for I've caught a lot of her stuff over the years, but she's gorgeous and she has such a unique style. But the Bubblegum Bitch song has been all over my TikTok feed like the last 72 hours, and I'm just eating all of it up because it's great seeing her because she's in her 40s and she looks absolutely divine. And she's somebody who has been out there grinding since she was, like 17 years old. Anyway, we were talking about music over the Discord because we were talking about Pacifica the other day. I listen to a lot of music when I'm doing my video editing in the afternoons, and so like last week I think was I redid the first two Cranberries albums. I'm probably gonna do the rest of the discography soon. Um, Jack Black had made a comment the other day about going back and listening to bands and their entire discography from the beginning to sort of rediscover the band and their creative journey, which kind of inspired me. I did the Beastie Boys all the way through a few months back. I do Jethro Tull like once a year. I love Ian Anderson's work in Jethro Tull, and so I do Jethro Tull like once a year. It's like my favorite band. But then I've been sort of I've been trying to discover new music recently, and so the Pacifica band got onto my feed. And also Wet Leg was about maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I discovered Wet Leg, and yeah. Anyway, there's lots of stuff that goes on in the Discord. If you're not already in the Discord, you should go and get in the Discord because it's worth it. I promise. All right, let me get over here and look at some things. So the first thing we're gonna do today, as we get into the game, I have a Renfail rant that we did not cover the other day because it popped up at the tail. I didn't see it until the tail end of the stream. Um, Hang on. I gotta go look something up real quick. Sorry, I'm dropping more Marina links in Discord. The Hollywood song is awesome. So, let me timestamp this. I dropped a link, Detroit, in the if you're on TikTok, you're on TikTok, Detroit. Go to the video that I published earlier today, and there's a YouTube link in the description of that video, and just copy and paste that. Otherwise, you can go to the Discord, and in the Discord, there's a crafts animals section, and there's a direct link to the YouTube. And all of my main socials, I put a link out earlier today as well, which directly link to the YouTube channel for the homestead. All right. So Disdain redeemed a Renfail rant for 5,000 channel points, and this happened actually yesterday, and I missed it during because we were in the middle of another Renfail rant, and I totally missed it because there's no audio cues for these, and I missed it. So we're gonna do it at the very beginning of this stream today. So the rant was people who complain about clunky or bad game mechanics without playing the game or without reading the instructions or following the tutorials for the given game. This is a great discussion, and I think the easiest way to show this off is something we actually talked about a little bit during yesterday's stream, which is, we got to dive into the game really quick. And actually show this off really quick and showcase this. All right. So one of the things is you'll get a complaint from some people who will claim that when you fly your ship in Starfield, you can't actually fly your ship as in a flight sim. You have to go through 10 or 15 different menus to get to the destination. And we had a guy, I think he was from, I think he said he was from Poland. His name was Lucas during yesterday's chat. I can't actually remember where he said he was from. But he was saying, I have never seen the ships or anything like that. He's like, all I've ever seen is people talking about how you can't do anything without going through like 50 different menus to fly. Is there a way to actually fly your ship from point A to point B? And when I showed him that you could in fact do everything from the cockpit of your ship, he was flabbergasted and said, why is no one talking about this? Why are none of these people who claim that you can't do this, why aren't they updating their YouTube channels to show that you can in fact do this, that you can in fact play this game like a flight sim? Why are none of these people talking about this? Why do people only ever talk bad about this game and the systems? And this is where Disdain's rant comes into play, because people who complain about clunky or bad game mechanics without actually having played the game. So, first thing you can do is when you have a destination where you need to go, there's actually a few ways you could do this. One is you could just do this. You could go here. If you have an active quest, which I do, represented by what's on the bottom of my screen, I can immediately just hit the X button to set course, and I can immediately travel straight there. That's it. Fast travel, we're there. I don't have to go through any menus or anything else. I'm literally there. Fast travel, bloop, done. Now, there are exceptions. If this is beyond the range of my ship, I may have to do some additional jumps, but if it's within range of my ship, I can immediately go there at the click of a button. No other things needed. Now, the haters, the people who claim that Starfield is nothing more than menus and loading screens, everything else, they're going to tell you that the only way to play the game, and they're going to show you this method right here, and they will never tell you otherwise. They're going to say that you have to go to the star map, that you have to go through this. That's 1 click. This is 2 clicks to back out, 3 clicks to go to the galaxy map, and then I have to find my destination all the way up here, and then I have to click on Cheyenne, which is a system. That's 5 clicks. Then I have to pick my planet, my actual planetary system, which would be Cyan. That's 6 clicks. And then outside of that, I would need to scan over here to click on the planet, which is 7 clicks, I believe. And then I would have to click again here to land, which would be 8 clicks, and then I can click land. Now that is obviously a lot of clicks, a lot of menus, and that is one of the ways that you can do this. But it's not the only way. As we showed from the very beginning, you can quick travel straight there if you want to. Or if you want to have the flight sim method, I can go to my ship, which we're going to do right now, which is longer but more immersive for those of you who want the flight sim manner. Now I can go into the ship or straight to the cockpit. For the purposes of this video, we're going to go straight to the cockpit. Now from the cockpit, we can take off. Any game that you play, whether it's No Man's Sky, Star Wars Outlaws, Star Wars: The Republic, Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous, all of those games are going to have you go through similar steps. Some of them have automated takeoffs, some of them have manual takeoffs, but all of them are going to make you go through these types of steps to take off with your ship. Now we're in space.
There. Stable already achieved.
Now, you're going to notice on my mini-map in the center of the screen here, I've got the blue dot for my quest icon. First thing you do is hit the left bumper. I'm now in scan mode. There's Cheyenne showing up. Matter of fact, if I scan around here, everything shows up as names now. There's no names at the moment, but if I hit the scanner, all these ships show up. I can target these ships. I can hail those ships. But I can also go over here to my mission destination, and I can click Cheyenne, where it says mission, and I can hold down the X button. And now we're in flight sim mode. And we are traveling to the destination via grav drive. Now, what's really interesting is that when we get cruise mode, which is coming in a couple of days, you're also going to be able to target lock planets within the system, lock onto them, and then travel via cruise mode to those destinations. So now I'm in flight mode. I can then once again do this. Open up my scanner, target Aquila, open up the planet map, and then I can choose to land here, wherever I want to land on the planet. In this case, we're going to land in Aquila City. So, this is a perfect example. That whole system right there, that entire sequence that we just showed you, there are 3 different ways that you can choose to travel in Starfield. There are going to be more ways once the introduction of free lanes happens, because we're also getting cruise mode, and that's another way to travel as well. So this is the perfect example of what Disdain is talking about in his people who complain about clunky or bad game mechanics without actually playing the game or reading the instructions or the tutorials. So many people will complain that you can't fly your ship and that you only have to do it by going through 25 different menus, 50 different menus, and all these other things. And that's just not true. You have always been able to travel from your ship cockpit the way that I just showed you, which is one of multiple ways to travel, right? But the grifters on YouTube are never going to show you those things because it would require them to admit that they were wrong about a game that they had never played. So that is the perfect example of what we were talking about. And this is what, when Lucas was here, go watch yesterday's stream. His name was Lucas. I don't remember where he was from, but he was mind blown that you could do it that way because all he had ever heard about Starfield was the negative stuff that people had told him in terms of, oh, the game is shit. It's you know, you're constantly going through menus, blah, 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 blah. You're never going to be able to, you know, do this, that, or the other. And then he's watching me play the game, asking questions yesterday, going, wait, I can do that? I didn't know I could do that. Wait, you could do this? What? Why is no one telling me these things? I'm like, well, technically, we do talk about these things, but the videos that tend to get more views on the internet are always going to be the hate videos because haters love each other. Misery loves company, and hate content and rage content gets way more traction than positive content. So, and again, that's just as of right now. Free Lanes is adding an additional layer to that with the ability to travel between planets in a system via cruise mode, so you can actually lock onto a target, and where it showed mission, there will be a ability to enter cruise mode and target lock, and you can then start traveling there in cruise mode. So that's just another perfect example. So the other one is if you are in space, I gotta go back out. This is another example of something that's never talked about by the haters. Now I am gonna have to Google how to do this because I don't actually use this mode of traveling.
Lifting off now.
So I'm actually Googling how to do this. Hold down the right bumper. Okay. So once we get up into space, and it's probably going to be better if I...
This right here is my catnip.
This is my catnip. So if I got to go into third person for this. So this is the normal way you would fly around your ship, right? I'm using the right thumbstick, left thumbstick, turns, goes, turns and goes forward or backwards. So, and then this goes right. So, but you can also use thruster mode, which I never use. So it says if you hold the right bumper, now you'll notice it says in the middle thruster mode is on, right? and it kills my engines, right? So it says thrusters are now on. So now look at the back. Do you see how there are thrusters that are now moving my ship around? See how those thrusters are now moving? It's a completely different way to navigate your ship, because you can be in this direction and you just want to move laterally to the left or right. You can use your thrusters. But Renfail, Starfield doesn't have thrusters. You can't actually play this game like a flight sim. You can't control your ship like you can in Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen, blah 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 blah. What's that? You can fly with thrusters and have lateral movement with your ship as well as controlling it this way as well? So, perfect example of players who have never played the game, never followed the tutorials, and all they ever do is spew fake information that their favorite YouTuber told them, which is false information about a game they've never actually played. So, yes, that's a great rant. So, shout out to Disdain for redeeming that Renfail rant over on Twitch. That was from yesterday, so we have to let him know that we're going to be publishing this later on YouTube, and you can watch this later as you want. Let me scroll through chat really quick. Emil says, that's why I rarely watch toxic YouTubers that just rant on how bad a game is. When you actually play the game, they go, hey, this game's actually fun to play. Oh, here's another one. I could easily talk about this as well. Since we're here, you will hear players talk about how we're not going to finish the rant yet. We're not done. We're not done. Let me target the planet. This is a great one. So a lot of things, other things people will say is that you can't explore a planet, right? They will say things that you can't explore the planet. So one of the things you could do is you can land anywhere on a planet. You could just pick, and notice it's telling us coniferous forest, savanna. Depending on the planet, you can go around ocean. We can't land there. Up here we get frozen plains. There's different places that we could land, different types of environments that we can. So you can freely land everywhere you want on the planet. But let's just pick the civilian outpost as an example. We're going to go here really quick. We're going to land. I'm gonna be your bubblegum bitch. I love Marina, and it's stuck in my head now.
Let's see what's on this ball.
So, we're gonna land. Now, you will hear people say things like, you can't fully explore these planets. That when you land, you're only given a grid, a box that you can explore within, and that if you go anywhere, you're going to eventually run into a wall and you can't explore the whole planet. Not true. Not true. So the way this works, if we exit the ship...
This looks like a rich ecosystem. Lots of scary predators, lots of cute prey.
You're not wrong, Sahima. So if I get into my... I could go on foot, but we could also get in my rover. When I pull up the map... Let's get out here a little bit. Oh, shit, he's scary looking. Oh, hang on. We might need to take care of him before we travel anywhere. Those are some nasty looking praying mantis type motherfuckers. Maybe they'll leave us alone. Let me open up my map. Oh, those are grazers? We may be okay. So when I'm in my map here, I'm in my scan mode, I can go to the surface map. And as soon as I'm in the surface map, what you're going to notice is that the surface map is always centered on me as the player. And if I scan out from here, I am in a square box. 100% I am in a square box. That is what we see when we first land. Now, this game, much like No Man's Sky, relies upon procedural generation for the maps. So it's only generating a square box based upon where my player character is, which is also represented by the view distance, so that it doesn't tank performance. But if I were to get into this rev and drive in any given direction, let's just pick a direction, right? Can you kill things? Yeah, you could also run into trees, by the way. You could totally... I hate driving in forests, by the way, because you can run into trees, which is mildly annoying. Alright, let's try to navigate through here without hitting too many more of these fucking trees. Sorry, buddy! I know, I ran you over, I'm so sorry. You're skittering at me. Ah, we're running into that too. Forests are the worst for me to drive in because I am not a good driver. Alright, we've come a few ways. I see a hill up here. Let's get up to the top of the hill and then I'm going to open up the map again. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. An offering reveals itself. She wants to go take out an animal. Here, this is a little easier to drive around on because there's not like stuff. Alright, this is probably far enough out, so I'm going to go ahead and open up my surface map again. And remember, it is centered on me. So if we pan out now, you're going to notice that my ship was over here. I'm over here. The entire square has shifted and moved over based upon my location. So if I keep heading east, that rover location, which is represented by the white, is going to continue to go over to the left, and it will eventually get to the point where it drops off the grid, and I won't be able to see it directly because we're traveling in the direction. And you're going to notice that there are some POIs in the map right now. If you keep going in an individual like any direction you want to go, you will continue to unlock and unfold these procedural POIs as you go in that general direction. So you can explore wide sections of planets, and you could just get in your rover and drive and drive and drive and drive and find things. Now that's something where they are adding more to the game with the Free Lanes update, is they are adding additional POIs, additional dungeons, and more types of events for you to uncover on both planets and in space. But just as much as you can explore throughout space and sort of drive anywhere in space, you can also walk or drive anywhere on a map, and it will continue to unfold. So literally the way it's working is the map is procedurally generating ahead of me as I am moving in a given direction. And so you could just keep going and exploring until you want. So this is another area where the players who have never played the game flat out will lie to you and say that it only generates this tiny little area around your ship when you first land and you can't go beyond that. That's just not true. You can land and you can start going, and it will just start generating in front of you as you go. Now, is it infinite? Obviously, no, it's not infinite, but it does give you a huge swath to explore before you do eventually get to the point where you're told, hey, you need to head back to the ship. And also, because there are static POIs, and when I say static POIs, what do I mean by that? I mean, if you go back to the planet view, this is what I mean by static. We have to go back to the ship really quick and take off. I know Lucas is back in chat, by the way. This is who I was talking about earlier when we were discussing this. Every review says that planets are just a square map. It's not true. What is true is that there are static maps on any given planet, and those static maps do not stack with procedural maps. So if you are on a procedural map, you will eventually get to the point where it's like, hey, you need to, it will eventually prompt you. But this is what I mean by a static map. The planets have these are static maps. So Aquila City is a static map. It is always going to exist on the planet in exactly the way it is, right? So you can't be in a procedural map. I can't go over here and say land right here on the savannah, travel south, and eventually reach Aquila City, right? That's not how the procedural generation works in this game. It's a different type of procedural generation. So I can't be traveling in a open world savannah map and eventually get to the point where there's Aquila City, let's zone in, because Aquila City is its own map. So there are static maps that take precedence. Hopefully I'm explaining that properly. It's essentially a map tile, and then they procedurally generate other map tiles for the purposes of exploration. So some of these maps are static, like the empty nest, or going up here to the pipeline substation, or the civilian outpost, things of that nature. And from there you can go out and explore and procedurally generate from that base map until you eventually get to the point where you do get told, hey, you kind of need to go back to your ship and we're going to go to a different place and generate a new map. But what is not true is that the game is just these tiny little maps that you can't explore from. When you start on any given space, you are started with a square, but you can go in great distances in any direction you want to, and that will become a rectangle. It could become a triangle. It just depends on what direction you choose to explore within that map and how it unfolds in front of you in that procedurally generated space, if that makes sense. So this is another example of players who have never played the game relying upon other people who have never played the game to tell you that the game is bad and that it doesn't do X, Y, or Z when it in fact does. And that will be the end of that rant. So thanks to Disdain for redeeming that Renfail rant over on Twitch yesterday, which we have done today. As always, you can redeem them whenever you want, and we always have fun with conversations when we do these. Let me go through chat. Do the maps feel empty? Not to me, but I suppose if you're a smooth brain, the maps might feel empty. Like, there are many procedural POIs that unfold, so anywhere you land, you're going to see lots of things to explore. So if I wanted to randomly land right here, let's go do it. I have no idea what POIs it's going to spawn for me. There's a link in that video, like literally the YouTube video. The YouTube channel is literally in the description of that video. You can also go to any of my social media channels and find the direct link to that, or you can go to the Discord and find a direct link to that as well. Alright, so now that we've landed, let's go ahead and exit the ship. Null says they might if you need every map to be like Disneyland and jam-packed with things. Correct. Smooth brains who need there to be a POI every 5 feet and shiny sparkles everywhere. Alright, this is all procedural. Hang on. Where's that ship landing? I hear it. So, that is a procedurally landed ship. First thing I could do, as soon as I exit my ship, I could go over there and try to take that ship. There might be a combat encounter. It might be a ship that I can steal. I don't know what's over there. There might be a landing pad. Oh, there's a critter. Critters running around. What are they? I don't know. Let's scan them. I'm too far away to do a scan. I would need it closer. But the first thing I can see when I open up my map is there's a POI right there. I can scan
The
that
hand
POI.
scanner is such a delightful invention.
I can move around here. I see another POI over there. I have another POI over here. That one, she was in the way. And there's an Ashta. I already know what that is. There's another POI over there. I could scan. And another one way over there that I can scan. So, go to the surface map, and immediately, as soon as I've landed, I have identified multiple POIs right there. What's up? That's fine. Well, he could go right here. He should go right here and go to sleep. So we've immediately identified 4 procedurally generated POIs, right? And I can go to those. Now, those might be different things. Leia just came in too, honey, because you left the door open. So that's a natural thing. That's a natural thing. This is a structure, and this is a ship landing site. Oh, so you know where we just saw that ship land? That's probably that right over there. So we could go over there, and we could wait for another ship to land and take over that ship if we wanted to. Or we could say, I want to go over here and see what this structure is. That looks cool, but I haven't been there yet, so I have to... let's go ahead and... I gotta figure out where the structure is. Put a waypoint over there. Hop in my rover. Now, before we had the rover, we would have to hoof it over there. The rover was such a good addition to this game. Are you in here, buddy? That is a satellite relay. Dude, something's grumpy at me. That's my ship. It's an unexplored ecological feature. Hang on, I got a cat in here. Smeagol. No, come here. Come here. Come here, buddy. I want to put you in the bed, not over here on my bed. Gotta pay attention to one of my male cats who came in here. Anyway, let's pick something and go in that direction. Along the way, there's lots of things I can scan for. Here's an elk. Now, if I wanted to take the time to get surveying of this planet to sell the data, or if I wanted these resources, I would scan every single thing I see. When they're blue, you haven't uncovered them. He's moving in a weird direction. There we go. And you can get that data. That ship's landing over there. And let's see if I can get over there. Possibly take it over. I clipped it. There's a satellite relay right here. There's a bunch of resources right there, rocks and things. Now that ship just landed somewhere over here. Look at that moon over there. Where did that ship land? Right there? Good guys, bad guys? What are they? They look like bad guys to me.
Out.
Spacers. And a ship.
By the serpent's fang.
Oh shit, I accidentally shot an innocent. My bad. I gotta reload. Oh no. Anyway, well, before I reload, that was an innocent colonist that I just shot. I pissed off my companion. All the colonists hate me now. The point I was trying to make was, it's a POI, and over here is a ship. Sometimes you can take over these ships. I could totally take over this ship. This is a locked ship. So I could totally come in here and steal this ship. Which means I landed on a random place on a planet, unlocked a random POI, went to that random POI, found a random ship, and went to that and could take that ship and choose to take it over. Is this before or after I shot the people? I have no idea if the night-day cycle changes on planet rotation. That's way more advanced than I have ever bothered to give a shit about. I scanned nothing. I saw a bandit who was red on my minimap, and I just started blasting. It's like the Danny DeVito from the show. I just started blasting. Handy says fast and... Oh, this is definitely the after, so I need to load a different save. Handy says it does. Fast or slow spinning planets and moons have days last shorter or longer. Well, there you go. The people who say there's nothing to do on planets are just dopamine fiends who need to be handheld through everything in a single thing. What they're actually asking for are things like daily quests or objective-based things to do, whereas this is more of a... There are obviously quests that guide you. As an example, I can go to my missions log and look for main quests, faction quests, miscellaneous quests, and activities to guide me from point to point. Or, yes, the mission boards are... No, the mission boards are unlimited. Those are procedurally generated, unlimited, like, Radiant quests, which is like what Cyberpunk 2077 has. So, this kind of stuff... For those of us who are like ADD gamers and we just get lost playing games, this is one of the coolest things ever because I can land on a planet and I can pop open the map and I get a randomly generated list of things to go do. It might be mining caverns, it might be a landing site, it might be a bandit cave, a bandit base, a pirate base, a ship I can steal. It could be anything. Like, I don't know what it could be. Now, as I have said in the past, I think it is a fair criticism to make that obviously there's a limited pool of things that this game can procedurally generate. So if you have done this and you have visited 50 planets, at some point you're going to start to notice things pop up again. The same interior layout, the same cavern system. But I challenge you to play any fucking video game that has ever been published and not find repetitive shit being used over and over again. No Man's Sky planets, the exact same outpost in every single one, the exact same interior on the anomaly, the exact same interior on every single base that you go to. Mass Effect 1, the exact same copy and paste interior for every single side quest you ever do in that game. Lord of the Rings Online, the same fallen tree over every single ravine. They just scale the tree up and down in size and change the texture. Dragon's Dogma 2 for the same exact wolf with different colored fur. The exact same goblin, but different colored fur. The exact same interior for every single merchant in Skyrim, Oblivion, Fallout 3, Fallout 4. The exact same blah, 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 blah. Free Lanes is adding more POIs, more dungeons, more variety, which should alleviate some of that to where you probably won't start to notice stuff until maybe after 100 planets. But the players who hate procedural generation are always going to hate procedural generation. They are always going to bitch about everything not being handcrafted. They're always going to bitch no matter what. Always going to bitch. They are never going to stop bitching. So ignore those people and go forth and play the game, because I promise you there's a ton of stuff to do. Go forth and have fun. You apparently know more than I do, God of Sin. No one at Bethesda has said anything about how many more POIs they've added. So your claim that they're only adding 5 more, so it's going to be 9 POIs. Like, could you please regale us with your source of information? Because I just went to Bethesda and I have a bunch of emails from people at Bethesda giving me all sorts of juicy details about the DLC and free lanes and everything that the general public doesn't have access to, and I don't have anything that tells me how many new POIs they're adding. So I would love to know where you got your data. Feel free to regale us. I don't do platinum. I don't try to do. I don't do achievements in games. So. Oh, you're not saying it's bad. You're saying it's good. Well, that's fine. I would still love to know where you got your information about how many POIs they're adding, because I certainly don't know that. And I would consider myself a kind of in the know guy. Silent Gamer says, "Thank you for your tips videos. I just ordered Starfield. Ready to play." Do we know what time it's coming out? Yes, they just published their release thingy today. Matter of fact, let me go see if I can open that up for everybody. Do, 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 da, 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 da. Give me 2 seconds. We're going to get this opened up in a window. All right, so somebody was asking earlier, do we know what time the game launches on the PS5? What time does Free Lanes go live? What time does the Terran Armada DLC goes live? Everything goes live at the exact same time. So this is when everything is out. So Los Angeles, April 7th, 8 a.m. Pacific. And that is, for those of you in Oceanic, it's going to be April 8th, 1 a.m. in Sydney and 4 a.m. in Auckland, for those of you on that side of the world. For me, because I am on Ciudad de Mexico time, it's going to be 9 a.m. Central. So I will be going live at 9 a.m. my time, and on the PS5 Pro. Now, I think what we're going to do Tuesday morning is we're probably going to be hanging out on the Xbox version of the game. We'll probably be playing some additional, just hanging out and doing, like, getting prepped and ready and psyched up. And then I will have my PS5 prepped and ready to go. There may be a day one patch. I'm not sure. We're supposed to be getting preloads on the PS5 Pro. Just the PS5, not PS5 Pro. The PS5 is supposed to be getting preloads on the 5th. And I'm not sure if there's going to be anything else that we have to download on the morning of the 7th. So it does say at the bottom here, times listed are target times for game servers to go live. Unexpected or extended maintenance may cause delays. Please follow our social channels for the latest updates. Again, those are estimated global release times. Pre-download is tomorrow on the PS5, says Narama. Cool. So tomorrow we'll be preloading on the PS5. I'm ready to go. So the morning of the 7th, I'm probably going to be playing on the Xbox like we are right now. And then as soon as the game is ready to go live on the PS5, we're going to shut down the stream, start a different stream, which is for the PS5 version of the game, and go from there. Or we may just do the same stream and just in the middle of it switch over and start playing on the PS5. Yes, the creation store is going to be so jammed that morning. So my plan is to, as soon as I turn my PlayStation on and we're able to log on, the first thing I'm doing is going to the creation store to purchase and download the Trackers Alliance content on the PS5. But it might not work because the creation store might be completely broken with everybody trying to download. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, the PlayStation 5 has some really cool controller stuff, like with the light bars are going to show up and like show you where your health is. The adaptive trigger stuff I don't use because of my hand issues, so I don't use the adaptive triggers, but they're really cool for the people who want them. I do love how some of this stuff is going to be through the voice, through the speaker in the controller. That's a really cool immersion thing, and also the being able to use the why am I blanking what it's called, the sensor pad to like open up the menu for maps and stuff. So I'm looking forward to the PS5 Pro version and just playing it on the PS5 in general. Are they going to be doing a special PS5 Starfield controller like they did for Xbox One? I have no idea, but that would be really cool if they did. But anyway, those are the global release times for the PS5 launch, the Free Lanes update launch, and the Terran Armada DLC launch. All of that is happening at the same time. So Tuesday is going to be a big day, and we are going all in. And so for those of you who have been following along, once Tuesday hits, I should say, I normally play 2 games a day. I will not be playing 2 games a day for a little bit. We're going to be going all in on Starfield and only playing Starfield for about a week. Because I think the 14th is when Hades 2 and Replaced hit the Games Pass. So once those 2 games are out, we'll be jiggling those into the afternoon slots. But Starfield is going to be the main jam all through the month of April. So every single day we'll be starting at about 5 a.m. and we're going to be playing our normal, 4 to 5 hours in the morning, and it's just Starfield all through the month of April because we got a lot of hours to put in. I got a lot of catching up to do because we got a lot of skill points that we need to get going. I got to check out all the new content. We got to get our new asteroid base. I want some new Terran Armada ships. I want some new Terran Armada guns. I want all the new goodies. Is something coming at us? I hear footsteps in the snow, and I'm tabbed out of the game. There's definitely a thing running around out there. Alright. Okay. What was I... We were going towards something, and I shot a colonist. It's not that one.
So many things to scan. Such a large and interesting galaxy we live in.
I agree. Alright, let's try not to shoot the colonists when we go over there this time. Oh, we're getting another ship landing. It is. Remember, don't shoot the colonists. Qué chévere esa agua. No manches, güey. Esto fue horrible. Ay. Alright, there is a... Hi, guys. Hope you're doing good. There's definitely some unfriendlies over there. But I don't care. I'm going to do a quick save here. Just in case. It is a great time to be a Starfield fan. Alright, let's break into this ship and steal it. How did I learn to speak so fluent? How did I learn Spanish? My wife is Mexican. What kind of an asshole would I be to be with someone for 15 years and not learn their language? Alright! Welcome to my new ship. Right? Take and sell this somewhere, maybe? Assuming there's no contraband on it. I like the hatches in this ship. What is this? The Endeavor. You know what? That is not a bad looking little ship. It's only worth 9,000 credits. Are there consequences to stealing ships? Oh yes, there are consequences for stealing ships. Yes. They will get pissed. Yeah, there were other people. We are not going to the moon again. We are not going to the moon again. No one is going to the moon. Flying around the moon is not the same thing as going to the moon. Everything that is going on right now with that whole thing is just one giant distraction from a bunch of other shit that you should be paying attention to. Stop getting distracted from the things that are far more important that you should be looking at. They are literally doing this right now. They are literally doing this to all the sheeple of the world. Don't look over here, guys. Look over here. Look over here. Look, guys. Look. Look at this. We're going to the moon. Fly to the moon. No, we're not. They're flying around the moon. That is one giant distraction. Don't get distracted. Keep paying attention to what's actually happening in the world right now. Okay? Food for thought, guys. If we were actually going to the moon, I would be more excited. But going around the moon, I'm just like, what's the point? Like, there is no. It is just one giant distraction from other shit that's going on right now that we should all be up in arms about. But unfortunately, most people are sheep, and they just want to go. Look, guys, we're going to the moon again. Oh, let's get excited. Meh. So no, I'm not really. I don't care. It's a. All right, so the spacers are attacking the colonists. I took him out. Don't shoot the colonists. I learned that lesson the hard way last time. Cheddar snack crackers, baby. Are there more spaces around here? I don't want to accidentally shoot the colonists. All right, then we can go inside here. Maybe there's magazines. There's gonna be bobbleheads soon that we're gonna be able to go look for. What's up, Voodoo? Renfail for president. I would make a shitty president. Because the first thing I do is I would fire everybody. They would probably unalive me very quickly for doing things that are completely against what the corporations want. I would not make a good president. Zero G Gimbal. First thing I would do, free healthcare for everybody. And that's immediately going to piss off every single corporation and pharmaceutical company. Free healthcare for everyone. That's the #1 agenda with my... Ooh, that is a sexy looking... So see, I'm in the middle of doing a random thing in a random POI. And I just found this. Calibrated ground crew pack. The cosmetics on that are dope as shit. I don't care about the stats, but like cosmetically, that was awesome. Ooh, and a master locked safe. Now, I have no desire to play with mods because I still haven't finished finding all the vanilla stuff. I would have to run out of vanilla things before I start playing with mods. Jordan says, for real, they start attacking the colonists and never came across that. Oh yeah, there's tons of random stuff that happens. So you'll find pirates attacking, you'll find spacers attacking. There are lots of random things that happen. But there's nothing to do. The planets are devoid of life. There's no activities. They're boring. They're empty. They've never played the game. Can you romance the characters? You can romance various characters from Constellation. Yep. Samco, Barrett, Andreja, and Sarah are the ones that you can for now. Maybe more get added in the future. We don't know. Shattered Space is great, Machine. We just did a quickie run a couple weeks back. Nothing that will... Wow. So first and foremost, nothing of what I just said had anything to do with politics. The fact that you made it about politics and told me to keep my fucking mouth shut? Who the fuck are you, Chris Heifer? Get the fuck out of my The fact that you just told me to shut the fuck up and keep my mouth shut? Fuck you, you're banned. Keep your fucking mouth shut. Holy shit. That person is not wanted in my community. Yeah, we did Shattered Space. I want to say we finished it last week, Machine. It was very quick. We did a very brief run. Anyway, yeah, I would do free healthcare for sure. #1 thing if I were made president. I would immediately give free healthcare to everybody. Almost every single country on the planet does some form of, and it's not free healthcare, by the way. Your taxes pay for it. This is not a political discussion, by the way. This is just someone said Renfail for president, and I was like, I would make a bad president because I would do stuff like that. I would be like, the first thing we're doing is we're getting rid of for-profit medicine, and we're going. Absolutely, thank you. Put it in the fridge for later. I still have coffee, but thank you. Somebody just came in the room. Puedes ponerlo en la refri. Aún tengo café. Chris just offered me a lemonade, which sounds delicious, but I still have half a cup of coffee, so I'm going to finish this before I graduate to lemonade. Anyway, it's not free. Taxes pay for it, but most countries of the world have some form of a universal healthcare system for their citizens, and I think that is the most important thing for every country is free education and free healthcare. So the first thing I would do is I would abolish for-profit universities, and I would abolish for-profit medicine. That's the very first thing I would do if I were made president. I would make it illegal to charge money for education, and I would make it illegal to charge money for medicine. Educate the people, make sure your people are well fed and have everything they need as far as healthcare and just that's it. Those two things. If you provide everybody with access to medicine and education, you're immediately going to make your country a million times better. You get rid of all the greed, but it's not that simple. Like, it's not that simple. So, um, like I said, um, unfortunately, you have people who in power who thrive on the way it's already, the way it's always been done, which is the for-profit version, and that's, yeah. I mean, but if you look at like countries on the planet where people have the best work-life balance and the people are the happiest, they are always countries where the tax rates are high, but they have great healthcare and everybody gets great education, like Finland. Um, the Norwegian countries are generally up there in terms of if you look at the global stats for work-life balance and happiness of the citizens, the Norwegian countries tend to be at the top of the list. And that's not me making that up. You could look at any statistics in the world. Um, that's just fact. So, anyway, if you want me to be president, I'm all for it. We're getting rid of for-profit education. We're getting rid of for-profit medicine. Yeah, Scandinavian countries, Norwegian countries, all of those great examples. There are obviously every system has flaws, including the settled systems, as we can see. Freestar Rangers versus Freestar Collective versus UC. I mean, everybody's got good intentions, but it's tricky. I still can't believe that asshole was like, keep your fucking mouth shut. What are you talking about? We weren't talking about politics. We were talking about space. If you want to keep your audience, you better keep your fucking mouth shut. Who the fuck are you, bro? The fuck out of my chat. I want to know what's in this safe, and is it worth me burning up auto digipix, man? No, that's not it. This is going to be a tricky one. Auto slot. I don't have any onesies left, man. I fucked that up. I don't have any more auto slots. Fuck. Yeah, I don't like that. Doesn't give me the right options. Let's try this. Nope, that's not it either. Fuck me. Fuck it. Yeah, What the hell is in that? Is that worth... I just burned up a whole bunch of picks, man. I don't have any more auto... Oh, I forgot about the whole unused keys thing. Yes. Let's just do that right away. I should have done that at the beginning. I completely forgot. Oh, there are already countries around the world who have successfully moved to a 4-day work week. When I was in Colombia back in 2011, so this has been 15 years ago. In 2011, when I was in Colombia, as a country in Colombia, they had already moved to a so the work you had a mandatory 2-hour lunch break. Can you imagine that? If you come from a country where you're required to work 8 hours a day, you get two 15-minute breaks and a 30-minute lunch break. Can you imagine being in a place where you got a mandatory 2-hour lunch break when I was in Colombia in 2011? My mind was blown. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, absolutely like a siesta. You work your shift in the morning, you come in, you work about 4 hours in the morning. Everybody is required to then take a 2-hour break and then come back and work another 4 hours after that to do their 8-hour shift. Like, there are so many countries around the world who do it better with 4-hour work weeks and 2-hour lunch breaks but sure, let's it's political. We're not talking politics, man. We're talking work-life balance. It has nothing to do with politics, right? There are countries you can look at who do things better. There's nothing wrong with looking at that and going, I prefer that system. That's not political. That's not a political statement. Some people have their heads so far up their candidate's ass and they can't believe that the world exists outside of... They've never owned a passport. They've never gone to another country. They're so ignorant on all these different things. It's like, the rest of the world doesn't exist. Only my country matters. Get out of here with that shit. I'm a big fan of naps. There was the siesta culture is such a big deal. Um, I remember that when I was living in Bulgaria, we went and we were in Greece, Italy, going to Spain, spending a lot of time in those countries, and the siesta being, I think my favorite thing was in like Spain, as an example, in like August when it's vacation time. Everybody just disappears from the main cities and they all go to the beach towns. And if you are a tourist who is visiting Madrid or somewhere like that, during the peak holiday season, I've seen tourists complain on social media. Why is there no one here? The shops are all closed. Do they not care about business? Do they not care about my business? Do they not need my business? They're just so lazy. They're not working. And it's like, bitch, everybody's on vacation. Like, literally everybody just leaves and goes on vacation and everything shuts down. And it's like only essential services are there. And the poor little tourists who are on their vacation who need every little thing catered to them, um, they freak out because the shops aren't open and they just like, why is no one here to serve me? It's like, because they're out enjoying life. It's great. There better be something in this chest, guys. This is ridiculously hard. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, this one. By the way, shout out to my wife who came in here with a lemonade. Such a beautiful person to offer me a drink in the middle of my stream. The only reason I said no is because I still have a cup of coffee, but I'm going to go grab that lemonade here in a bit. There we go. Seriously, that's all that was in this fucking thing? Ammo? That's not a very good gun. Boo. Yeah, my fake wife. By the way, if you didn't catch all the social media blasts that went out earlier today, we we finally went out and recorded a video at the forest property that we bought last year. So that went out on the Homestead channel earlier today. And I blasted out a short video on TikTok, Instagram, and I also shared the video link in Discord, Twitter X, Facebook, Blue Sky. So you can see more of my fake wife, and also you can see more of the fake property that I bought with the fake revenue I make from not making any money on streams, because the trolls always claim that there's no way you're making a full-time living when you only have 7 viewers on TikTok and 14 viewers on Twitch. There's no way that you're making a full-time living, even though you get sponsored to play games by companies. There's no way that you're making a full-time living even when you're being sponsored to review and you're going to these events and you're doing these things. There's no way. It's fake. It's all fake. Second property we purchased with cash, in full, paid for from the revenue I make from these streams and Homestead, and merch stores and memberships and subscriptions and book sales and Patreon. And we have lots of chickens. We have egg chickens, we have meat chickens, we have egg ducks, meat ducks, and lots of cats. Alternative facts. Alright, interestingly enough, it has prompted me to take that ship, which I don't want to do. Something I've never tested before is, can I get back to my other ship, or is it going to prompt me to take that ship? No, I can still go back to my shield breaker. But because I walked onto that ship, it was telling me I could take that ship if I wanted to. Which is cool. There could be some better RNG to master chests. I have found some really good legendary weapons in master chests, though, so occasionally it is worth the effort, but sometimes it's not.
This never gets old. Lift off.
Si tienes dudas si esta merece la pena, Eloy, es mejor no gasta su dinero. Es mejor no gastar su dinero. Dinero es muy difícil de ganar. Y solo tienes tiempo limitado en la vida y dinero limitado en la vida. Si tienes dudas sobre algo, no vale la pena. Solo compra una cosa si estás 100% seguro que vas a disfrutar. Y yo no puedo contestar esto. Puedes ver mis streams, puedes ver el contenido de otros streamers, de otros creadores de contenido, y puedes distinguir por tu propia cuenta si algo merece la pena, si vale la pena o no. Hay muchas personas creando contenido por Starfield, aparte que yo. Puedes ver esos streams, escuchar las reviews, las reseñas, y después esto, hacer una decisión si vale la pena de comprar o no. Si ya tienes No Man's Sky es un videojuego completamente diferente de esto. Es más como un survival, ¿no? De crafting survival. Starfield es un RPG de Bethesda. Es con muchos momentos narrativos, con compañeros que pueden tener romancia, ¿no? Y esta gran elección de habilidades. y un sistema de niveles por su personaje no existe en No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, la única cosa que es la misma entre ese videojuego y No Man's Sky son de ciencia ficción y tienen nave, nada más. So. Diego dicen que bien habla español. Carajo, te sigo desde esta semana y me ha llevado un grato sorpresa contigo. Pues gracias. Ah, si encantas Fallout, Fallout es Bethesda. Esta tiene muchas cosas, muchas similaridades entre esto y Fallout. Pero también esta es ciencia ficción y Fallout es más como post-apocalíptica, ¿no? La tema es muy diferente. Además, esta tiene naves, en mi opinión, mejor combat, ¿no? La mejor sistema de armas y combate porque en Fallout 4 específicamente ya tienes, no sé cómo se llama en español, the VATS system, ¿no? El sistema de VATS. Ese es muy distinto de Fallout. No existe en otros videojuegos. Aquí es más como un Destiny 2 o Division 2 en la manera como usa las armas, ¿no? Pero también ya tienes su nave y hay combate en espacio si puedes atacar esas naves. Mira, un segundo. We're doing a tangent, guys. Here, let me show you guys some space combat, just for an example. Just to fuck around. Everybody on my ship just got pissed at me. But as an example, like, now we're in space combat with everybody. Because I shot the police and I'm dead. Like, that doesn't exist in Fallout or Skyrim, or this is an example, right? Like, everybody's mad at me now. They're gonna blow me up. Boom! Shakalaka! Yeah, that doesn't exist in Fallout. Yes, all the companions abandon you. So even if I had survived that fight, all of my companions would have abandoned me because I made a decision that pissed them all off. So, yeah, I need to load because that was a bad decision on my part. Just doing that for the purposes of showing off what you can do and some of the differences. If you want to piss people off in the cities like Aquila or New Atlantis, go forth. You can absolutely attempt it. Good luck with that. Because they will come after you. In the middle of all of that, we had a new guild member just joined over on YouTube. Jagger Tiger 1972. Thanks for joining the channel as a channel member over on YouTube. Appreciate it. You can adjust all of the different settings in this game. What's up, Morpheo? So good so far. So for example, if you're finding the combat to be if you're finding the space combat to be too difficult, you can literally go into the gameplay options and play around with the enemy ship stuff. Enemy ship damage, player ship damage. Correct, there are companions who won't give a shit. But I have the core Constellation companions, and so they are very much all on the side of being good people. But there are companions that you can get in the game who are not good people and don't care if you do bad things. I don't go around shooting people in cities, so I can't answer, can you kill every NPC? I don't know and I don't care. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm a good guy in my video games. I'm not a bad guy in my video games. So I don't go around shooting NPCs in cities or making a video on YouTube that's like, I can't kill the NPCs in Starfield. This is a shit game. This is bullshit. I can't kill the NPCs. Dude, you can't kill... Good luck killing the NPCs in God of War Ragnarok. You can't kill NPCs in that game. Does that make it a shit game? No. Some games you can, some games you can't. I know that you can piss people off in New Atlantis and shoot people in Aquila and piss the guards off and get caught stealing. And are the companions necessary to complete the story? For the lodge, for the main story, yes. There are some. I'm trying to think if there's any moments where you have to have. Like the eye, I don't want to spoil anything. Like when you do, Richard says, I stole something in Neon and the entire city descended upon me. Many of them are essential, can only be downed, not killed. There you go. If an NPC is considered essential by the story, they can't be killed. They will be able to, you can knock them down, but they'll get back up after combat. I'm pretty sure all of the companions in this game, you can't kill them. You can knock them down, but you can't kill them. I could be wrong on that. It's not something that I play around with or test. But I know I have accidentally shot my companions in combat before and knocked them down. But now for the sake of education, where are we? We're on Aquila? We're gonna for science, kids. We're gonna do something for science. I'm also gonna quick save before I do what we're about to do here.
I like the adventure of eating space food, but it will be good to have a hot meal.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Costco hot dogs from time to time, girlfriend. All right, kids, for science, we're going to go into the middle of Aquila City and see what happens if we decide to tear up a Terra room.
My mother wanted me to be a doctor.
Where's the Terra room? Maybe it's just this place right here. Hey guys! I'm an outlaw! Here, let me chuck a grenade.
Hey there.
Pissed off my companion, and everybody is shooting at me. Now granted, I have it on easy mode right now, so I'm not dying very quickly. But everyone is attacking me, so that answers the question about can you kill NPCs? Can you? I mean, you certainly can try. Good luck. Like, everybody's gonna leave you. The Aquila City security is after you. I now have a 15,000 bounty on me. So even if I survive this, the more I kill, by the way, the more I kill, I think the bigger the bounty gets. So even if I survive this, look at the bounties going up. The bounty's going up for the longer I last, the worse I'm making it, and the more I take them out, the more the bounty just keeps going up. Let's take out an innocent. Come here. Come here. Science. For science. I don't know where you ran. Come here. You've disappeared. So we're doing this for science. I would never do this on one of my normal playthroughs. Yep. The bounty just got bigger. She's running away from me. Everybody's pissed at me. The bounty's getting bigger. Let's go inside the rock. Anybody here know what I'm doing outside yet? I don't think they know. Oh, they totally know. Everybody knows. Now, that's an NPC that's a critical NPC, so I can't kill them. So that's a story NPC that's critical to the main story. So I can't take them out.
Now I got you.
Now you're mine. You can't.
Matter of fact, I think she just got up. Anyway, I think that answers everybody's questions about can you attack NPCs? Are there repercussions? Oh yes, there are definitely repercussions. I now have like a several 100,000. Matter of fact, if I go down here, I don't think I can click the bounty board. No, that's not the bounty board. I'm pretty sure I have a several 100,000 bounty on my head right now because I have murdered a whole bunch of innocents. It keeps racking up another 15,000, another 15,000, another 15,000, another 15,000.
You're.
Come here, Marshall. Don't run from me. Marshall's down. So, yes, you can definitely be an outlaw if you want to. I don't want to. So, but just to show people, yes, you can. That's right, nothing personal. This is just for science to show people that yes, you can. That's probably the only time I have ever done that on a stream ever. I don't play evil characters ever. I play good characters. That's it. Imagine all the loot from the dead body. Y'all are wickedly cold. Ah. Someone asked about a lockpicking guide. I'm going to work on the lockpicking guide tomorrow. So that'll be out Monday morning. Tomorrow's guide is already out for channel members on YouTube. It'll be out for the general public tomorrow, which is the best starting skills for new players. That's the video I recorded today before I started the stream. So that video has already been published for channel members, out for the general public tomorrow morning. Sometimes it's good to be bad. Oh man. All right, let's see here. But yeah, all the companions will if they that's the other thing. People who have never played this game will complain that there's no repercussions for your actions in Starfield. Like they would literally spew some of the stupidest shit about how nothing you do matters in Starfield. It's one of the worst Bethesda games ever. They didn't do any blah 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 blah. I'm like, your companions will literally abandon you if you do things that are against their alignment. Like if you go around shooting innocents, they will all run away from you. If you go too far in any extreme, the companions will get upset with you and abandon you. It is a There are a lot of repercussions to actions in this game. There's a cat howling outside. Let me go see what's going on here. Come on. What's the matter? You can come inside. I'm shutting the door if you come in. Yep, you're in now, buddy. Too late. What are you crying about? Do you want to come say hi to everybody? Come here. Come. No, you come in here. You gotta come say hi to everybody. You gotta pay the dad tax. You gotta pay the dad tax before you can go back out. Oh. Are you howling? Are you not happy? What's up? What he wants me to do is he wants me to take him to the front door, and he wants me to take him outside. So he hunts lizards, these little 4 to 6 inch lizards, out front in the side proper, and like right outside we have a little kind of cubby it's our front yard, which is supposed to be a garage eventually, but there's banana trees and stuff out there. It's on the other side of this wall in my office. So we let him go out with his sister occasionally. We take them. It's all supervised because when you go out the front door, it's the sidewalk and the street. And so we have to go out to make sure that they don't try to get to the sidewalk. Because they used to, when they were kittens, they used to go across into the field across the road. And then we had an accident with one of them who got hit by a car. And so we don't let them go out there anymore. So they get to go into the front yard and go hunt lizards once or twice a day. Him and his sister. The other ones, no. Because both Luke and Leia are very timid and they get scared easy, so we're not too afraid of them running off. But the funny thing is Lucas, he gets very grumpy when he doesn't get his yard time, and so he's literally sitting at my door howling. And the reason he's howling at my door right now is because he wants to go outside and go. So he's like, Dad, 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 take me outside. And I'm in the middle of a stream, so he's not going outside right now. And if Chris is busy, she's not going to take him outside. But this morning, he tried to be sneaky about it, too. Because during the Crimson Desert stream, I got up to go take a break. I went and got my coffee, and I went outside to do I do eye exercises every hour and a half or so. Which actually, we're due for a break here. And I put the key in the front door, and I didn't even get a chance to open the door. And he was at the base of the door, like, with his paw, like, trying to pull the door open. I was like, you little shit. Like, it's like 5:30 in the morning. You do not need to go outside right now. But he was trying. He was trying to beat me to the punch. He was like, Dad's opening the door. Let me go, 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 go. But on that note, guys, let me take 5. We've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. I need to go outside and stretch my eyes, stretch my legs. I'm going to probably go get that lemonade that Chris made for me and offered me like 30 minutes ago. We'll be back in 5. If you haven't already done so, get over to YouTube. Follow along there. Everything in between the streams happens there. And if you haven't already done so, all the social media channels and the Discord got a sweet little drop today because Chris and I went out to the forested property that we bought at the end of last year, and we finally showed that off in a video today over on the Homestead channel. So if you want to see the investment property that we bought, aka the piece of land out in the middle of nowhere on the edge of town by the farms, go watch that video while we're AFK, and I'll be back in a few. Alright. I took Luke outside. He got a few minutes. He almost... There was 2 lizards, the little ones. He almost got 2 of them. One of them got away over the fence and towards the street, and I had to grab him and not let him chase it over the wall. And then the other one was over by the hose where the spigot is, and it had a little tiny hole, and it ran on the wall, and he almost got it, but it got into the hole and disappeared into the wall. And then he wanted to climb the banana trees and go looking at the banana trees, but I decided that we were just going to come back inside. I was like, we're not doing the banana trees, dude, because if he goes up at the banana trees, I lose him for like 5 minutes, because he'll literally go up like 10 feet, and he'll jump between the trees and hunt little lizards before he'll come down, so I didn't want to wait outside for him. He got mad, though. He was howling as I brought him back in, like, no, don't make me go back inside. That's right, the dad tax. The dad tax. The dad tax. I'll tell you what, guys. I haven't had any problems with my leg injury for a while, and Chris and I went out to that property today, and we walked. So it's like about 2 kilometers that direction, 2 kilometers back. So it's not a long walk, but it's the terrain is all sorts of like this. And then we went up into the woods, and so we were climbing up hills, and I'm not feeling very good right now. My leg injury is very upset with me, and my ankle is cranky. Alright, I don't want to do any of those quests. Let's go back to the activities. This is the one we were doing yesterday. I don't understand how this works. What is this quest called, by the way? Visit your rented room on Neon. Because I slept for 3 days in a row and it didn't do anything. Trying to see if this quest actually leads to anything, because she talked about a secret, but I couldn't get her to Someone said you got to make sure to close the door. What the fuck? Okay, hang on. Let's go back and try that.
The oceans here must be teeming with exotic species.
Extend.
Your home away from home here on Neon. Our beds are comfortable and affordable.
I have never done this before to like see if I can get some sort of dialogue from her. The Reddit thread says close the door before you sleep, and that should trigger the quest. Let's see if that works. Yes, it is the Volii Hotel quest. Because she mentioned something about a secret, and I'm like, what secret? Other people are saying it didn't work for them. We're going to find... Oh, someone else says you have to stay in the bed for the duration of the rental period you paid for. I paid for a week. So I wonder if I have to stay here for 7 days to get it to update. That might be it too. I think this is the 4th night. Yeah, that didn't clear it. Let's just do it again. This is night 5. I see so many different people saying so many different things on Reddit about this quest, so I don't know what is actually going to happen here. We're going to go downstairs really quick because some people said you might need to go into the elevator to trigger it. This was night 5. Oh, something just updated. Yeah, I think it cleared. It definitely cleared. Alright, so now I should be able to go downstairs. I wonder if she'll talk to me now and give me her secret stuff. Because she said she was going to tell me about a secret after I stayed for a few days. And I stayed for a few days. I stayed for 5 days.
We have choice accommodations at reasonable prices.
She won't even talk to... Oh, there she goes. I was going to say.
We have plenty of space
Make
available.
me a secret?
Maybe after you've rented a room for a few nights, I might let you in on my secret. For now, it'll just have to remain a mystery. Sorry. I just need some time to see if I can trust you. I'm sure you understand.
Stay a night, wait for a day, stay another night, do this 3 times, she will spill her secret. You cannot rent a room for a week, like I just did, and expect her to tell you. That's not gonna work. Aw, man! Okay. Someone said they purchased 3 times 1 night stays, and she spilled the beans. Okay, so let's rent a room again.
I've got one with your name on it.
1 night.
How long are you planning on staying?
I wanna know.
I have a room with your name on it.
I want you to tell me all of your secrets.
And with a crime rating of only 16%, your safety is almost.
I can tell you that the answer that Todd Howard told me when I visited Bethesda in regards to a Starfield Online, which is, we are always having conversations about the potential things we can do with our franchises. Never say never. That's the answer I was given, because I totally asked that question in the Q&A. I was like, hey, I know you're probably going to tell me no, but hey, just, to throw this out there, Starfield Online, because you already have Elder Scrolls Online, you have Fallout Online. What about a Starfield Online? And I got the PR answer, which is fair. I knew that's the answer I was going to get, but it was worth asking. Ooh, that is a lemonade Chris made. I would play the shit out of a Starfield Online. I have said this many times. I don't really play online games anymore. I will occasionally dip my toes in, get up to speed on Servers of the Republic, get up to speed on, Lord of the Rings Online, World of Warcraft, many different types of live service games, Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76. I will occasionally dip my toes into those games, but I always play them as single-player games, and I never play them for more than, I don't main MMOs anymore, even though I did for like 25 years.
Welcome to the hotel.
Because there's so many other games to play, so many other great single-player games. I played like 40-plus games last year.
Maybe after you've rented a room. Sorry.
But if they made Starfield Online a thing, I would no life
I've got
that,
an open
and I
room
would
for
go.
you.
I would main an
planning on
MMO
an
again. I
extended
would
stay
become
or just
a
one night?
Starfield Online streamer who plays other games in between Starfield Online.
Please enjoy your stay.
Welcome
However, it would also have to have, you know, because I thought, because it's also like Dune Awakening. I love Dune, and as an IP, I know Dune way more than I know Starfield. And I love Dune. Love it. I put 600 hours in Dune Awakening when it came out, and it was a phenomenal game. It is a phenomenal game. But they're never going to be able to create enough content out of the gate to keep someone happy when you no life the game, which is, you look at like Shroud, Burnt Peanut, those guys, they always move on from the games that they play. They'll play it really hard for like 6 weeks, and then they go off to the next game. When you're putting in those kind of hours, you're going to run out of things to do. So even if they made Starfield Online, like, I don't know, man, it would have to be something magical to be able to go full time on something like that. You know, I would definitely no life it, but the question is, would it have enough content at launch for me to be able to no life it? Because Elder Scrolls Online, as it exists now, 10 years after it's launched, sure, there's enough content in Elder Scrolls Online that would allow me to no life that game for the next 2 to 3 years and not see everything that's there. But Elder Scrolls Online at launch, definitely not enough content for me to no life it. Like, in 2 months, I'm out of things to do. Just like with Dune Awakening. Right? Well, at least you got the timeline right, Adrian. I had somebody the other day be like, I've been waiting for this game to come out on the PlayStation since 2019. It took them fucking long enough. And I was like, bitch, please. This game didn't launch until like November or whatever it was of 2023. It's only been out for 2.5 years. You cannot claim that you've been waiting since 2019 for this game to come to the PlayStation. You just making shit up at this point.
Well, my sources say you've checked out, so I don't see the harm. Administrator Bayou and I, we have a sort of understanding. Call it a pact. He lets me do pretty much whatever I want at my hotel, and in return, I make sure certain information stays off of SSNN.
That information must be incredibly damaging.
You can't even imagine. I have compromising data that proves Bayou is directly connected to the Seoka Syndicate. And before you ask,
this is great. I've never done this.
The only way I'll ever leak the info is if I'm dead and gone. Then it gets sent to, well, I can't tell you who, but it's covered. Look, I've already said way too much, so for both of our sakes, maybe we should keep this under wraps. Okay? Remember, we always have plenty of amazing rooms at reasonable rates.
Now, I wonder if you could find her secret stash of data. Thanks for the super chat. here's some cash for healthcare and science. Thank you. Do I have any melee weapons out of sheer curiosity? Do I have anything that is silenced? Okay. Remember, this is for science.
You could have really hurt someone with that.
Oh, so she is unkillable as an NPC. Okay. Science experiment done. I wanted to see if she was someone that you could take out and then loot to find the data about the guy who runs Neon. Oh man. I don't know if it's because I'm drinking this after the coffee.
Remember, we always have plenty of amazing rooms.
So by the way, this is
reasonable
not
rates.
technically eliminated. This is we have a blood orange tree. It's not even a blood orange tree. God damn it. It's called naranjagria in Spanish. It's in our backyard. And it had a massive harvest this year. We pulled like 200 fruits off that tree. And we're finally down to like the last, I think last 15, 20 fruits. But they're like it's like an orange, kind of like an orange, kind of like a lime, a little bit mixture. We use it for beverages, and you can also use it as a marinade for meats and stuff. So that's what this is, and it's super tart and delicious, but it's like, I think it's abnormally tart because I was drinking coffee before this. Ugh. Is the Mantis armor good to keep from the beginning of the game? Yes. It's definitely a early, if that's the way. It's interesting because it's like level 30 or something, but you can go do it. If you're careful, you can get it pretty early in the game. It's definitely, you don't need it, but it's definitely, if you go get it, it's worthwhile. I think the Mantis 2 stuff is way cooler.
Are you here to book a room?
Which you can get but that's only available through the Trackers Alliance stuff. It does make a delicious margarita. By the way, she has.
Sing the serpent's hymns on. I left space in my back for just such an occasion.
It does look cool. She has it on her. She's not using it, but I gave it to her to carry around. So she has the Mantis Mark II spacesuit. And the Mantis Mark II pack. And the Mantis Mark II helmet. Right? And I've got her wearing the Assassin's stuff, which we also got from the Trackers Alliance. That's what she wears. And then she's using the Explosive Varun Star Shard for the moment. Any free ships you can find and claim? Hundreds.
See you around.
You can literally claim ships for free on any of the planets that you go to and explore. There are shipyards all over the place and landing pads that you can find free ships at. You can also take over ships in space combat encounters, board them, and take them for yourself. Sell them, add them to your fleet, mod them, whatever you want. You can get so many free ships in this game.
You didn't hear this from me.
Not only that, you get lots of free ships from quests. So if I go up, where the hell's the elevator? Yes, you can become a space pirate and claim them all. I think this is the elevator right here. If I go up to the ship services guy, I actually have, I think it's a junker. I can't remember where I got the junker for free. The junker was definitely a free you get the junker after the very first Tracker Alliance quest, which is a free quest. You don't have to have the the actual Trackers Alliance stuff from the creation store. It's just the freebie version, which was the very first introduction. It's like the introduction to the Trackers Alliance. At the end of that quest line, you get this ship, which is the Junker. What's up, Babylonian? Here, let me go talk to the ship services guy.
Anything I can help you with?
Yes.
You should inspect your ship for heat. Sure, have at it.
Where's it at? Junker. Now I added the freight containers to it for more storage space, but that is a free ship. That is a freebie. Are there any limit to how many ships you can have in your fleet? Nope, not that I'm aware of. It's just based on how much money you have, because you have to register the ships and everything else. That's a free ship. That was a free ship that we stole during yesterday's stream. Like, we boarded that ship and took it yesterday. Took it from Space Pirates. It's a piece of shit, but I took it and made it mine. And then I bought this one. That one you get for free at the beginning of the game. That's my Starborn vessel. Which, honestly, let's make that my home ship again. I am not aware of a limit on spaceships. I could be wrong. I am on the Xbox Series X, and yes, the loading screens are non-existent. It's a split second for most. Couple of seconds if the game is like chugging along for some reason. Someone says the limit, Curtis Creation says there is a limit, and the limit is 10. I was not aware that there was a limit, so that's interesting to know. But anyway, you can steal ships. You can steal ships in space by boarding them and taking them over. You can find, which we just did earlier in the stream. We found a ship on a planet at a random POI that was a like a ship landing pad. There was a ship there. That ship that we just showed off, we found on a planet and took. They already answered those. So the base PS5. They answered the base PS. They literally said in the video they launched yesterday that the performance mode is 60 frames per second. It targets 60 frames per second in performance mode. As far as how much hard drive space it takes, I think it's like 100. It's definitely over 100. I don't really know. It depends on if you're getting the premium edition or the base edition. How do I see size on my... Like, how do I see how big this is? It is 126 gigs on the Xbox. So, Terran Armada and Free Lanes are adding more content. I don't know how much more content, but I can tell you that the base version of the game with Shattered Space, which is the DLC, the premium edition of Starfield as of right now, is 126 gigs. So I would assume the new is, if for the PS5, I mean, it just depends on so many things, but I'm going to assume between 120 and 150 gigs. I don't know. I know that's how much it's taking up on my Xbox. Squid of Cheese coming in with a $19.99 super chat, says, for gaming snacks and drinks if you wish. Thanks for streaming. I'm very excited for the PS5 port. Huzzah! I'm also very excited for the PS5 port. And I'm going to hop over really quick to the PS5 because there is a... We might be able to look. I think I can see how much it's going to be because it should show me the preload data. Where do I find that, though? Here, right here. Does it show you? Like, how do I see that on... Yeah, I have no idea how to check the size. Like, I'm not sure how to do that, guys. That's not something... Oh, is it over here? I have no idea how to see the size of something on my PlayStation, because that's not something I ever pay attention to. So I can't tell you. Like, I don't know how to see that. Anyway. It'll preload tomorrow. I would assume like 150-ish gigs is what I would assume. If you did the pre-order. If it's like the premium edition with everything, I'm going to assume 150-ish gigs. All right. Back to the Xbox. Voltron says PS5 version of the game should weigh in at just over 123 gigs, while the company DLCs will be 12.5 and 4 gigs respectively. So yeah, that's 135 to 100, like 140 gigs. Like, yeah. 140, 150 gigs is something good to shoot for. What happened? Who is it? Who just came in my room? It's Leia. What are you crying about, honey? It's not time for lunch. Or dinner. What time is it? It's 3:15. They need to wait. Get out of here. You need to wait. You have 45 minutes until dinner. I know. Yeah, he's mad. He wants to go back outside and... Yeah. Aire acondicionado, güey. Otro gato entre. Ah, Leia just went under the bed too now. How big can you make ships? Like capital warship size? You can do all sorts of crazy stuff, Astro Dewey. I've never tried to go that big, but I think you can. Have I played Alan Wake 2? No, but I claimed it because it was free during Christmas on my PlayStation for my PS Plus subscription. So I've that and Stray I claimed over the holidays, but I haven't played them yet. How many hours do I have in Starfield? Like, I don't know. Over 550. It won't show until the download. Okay. All right. Thanks, Red Room. I wasn't sure about that. So it's everybody just kind of making assumptions about what the size is going to be. But so yeah, I would assume, like I said, I would assume between 140, 150 gigs. Sounds about right. Sarah wants to know, where do I read chat? I read chat everywhere. But if you're new here, I'm always live on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and TikTok. If you are watching on any of the platforms, I always prioritize the paying members first. So if you are supporting my channel on YouTube with a membership, or if you are supporting my channel on Twitch via a subscription, your priority is number one. I will prioritize that chat every single time. If you are a free viewer on any platform, your chat goes way down to the bottom. And I only answer that chat if I have time, if it's an intelligent question, and if I'm not otherwise occupied playing a game and or answering my paying subscribers and members. So if you are a free viewer, thanks for being here. Awesome to have you, but unfortunately your chat is not prioritized. So goddamn right, Thorgan. In other words, microtransactions in games and microtransactions in my chat. Quickest way to get noticed is you do microtransactions, kids. Super chats, memberships, subscriptions. That gets you up to the top of the priority list. If you're in the free seats, just be glad you got to show up. Glad you got to see me. Keeping it real. What's better for me, YouTube or Twitch? It doesn't matter. All are equally good. Chaos Meister. It literally at this point, I'm big enough now that it doesn't really matter. Like the it's pay to win, chat. You're damn right. It's pay to win, chat. I don't think that I think we talked about this in the last business video I did on YouTube for the channel members. I don't really have any business goals this year. I don't. Like, we're making more than enough money to pay the bills, and as long as that continues to be the case, I don't really have any major business goals this year. I have some second, like the only thing I'm shooting for at this point is I'm waiting to get 100,000 on YouTube to get my plaque. And if I get partnership on Twitch, that would be cool. But it takes so much work to get to partner on Twitch. Like, I'm nowhere near partner on Twitch. I've been on Twitch for 2.5 years. It takes most people 5 to 7 years to get partner on Twitch. Most people. If you're not showing your titties and taking your clothes off on OnlyFans, then it's going to take you 5 to 7 years to get to partner on Twitch. Now, if you're showing your titties and taking off your clothes on OnlyFans, you can get a lot more people a lot quicker to follow you on Twitch. But nobody needs to see these hairy man boobs. Trust me. I'm old and they're flabby and it ain't pretty. So I'm going to be here for a while trying to get to partner on Twitch. So like you have to have, I think it's 70 concurrent viewers on Twitch over the course of like a month or two. And I'm on a, like, recently we've been doing good on Twitch. And I think we're up to like 24 or 25 concurrents is the current average. That's a long way from 70. So, yeah. So 100K. I could have 100K if I would have kept all the trolls I banned from YouTube. You're not wrong. Like, I could technically probably have had, 100,000 already if I wouldn't ban people. But I like to keep my chat and my community safe from idiots. So, nice, Voltron. Nice. I see what you did there. Big and bouncy. But yeah, I mean, we're in a really good place, Chris and I. So at this point, literally, it's just wake up every day, put in the time, put in the hours, continue to grind. You know, every day's a new day. Some games do better than others. This game has always been good to me. Ever since I played it the very first time, I had a built-in audience who was ready to play this game right when we came off of Baldur's Gate 3 and Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. We had a really good audience going into Starfield. I've had a good audience that has stuck with it. As I have continued to play other Bethesda games, that audience has largely carried through. We do have a pretty good core audience of people who love Bethesda games. Thanks, Squid of Cheese. Welcome to the channel as a member over on YouTube. So I'm always happy to go play like Fallout 76 and more Fallout 4. We did Fallout 76 a few days ago. Haven't done Elder Scrolls Online though since Christmas because I got busy with Skyrim. Definitely looking forward to Elder Scrolls 6. I know King Ath Creations has some really exciting stuff coming up, and I'm gonna probably check that stuff out, time permitting, in the various games that stuff is coming out in. April is going to be a big month for me in terms of Starfield content. We're going to be going all in on Starfield, as are many people. I know Bubbalonia is here in chat. He's going in on a full month of Starfield now that he's back from vacation. Thorgan is already in our chat right now. He's doing more Starfield. There's quite a few people in our community who are going to be doing lots of Starfield over the next month. So that's the rambling answer of like anywhere people want to watch is all good for me. Like even on my non-monetized channels, like I'm not monetized on TikTok. So that is like the only reason I stream there is because it helps that grow. And the only reason I care about that growing is because in terms of sponsorships, when people pay me for sponsored campaigns and they come to me and say, hey Renfail, how much does it cost for you to do a YouTube short, an Instagram reel, a TikTok short, blah blah blah, and I can say it's this much money because I have this amount of followers and this much traffic. I get 1.9 million here and 2.6 million here and 3.5 million over here. So it's all important in the scope of like sponsorships sponsored reviews, companies that pay me money to do advertising stuff for their games. So that's the only reason I really stream on TikTok, is because it helps to grow the TikTok channel. And TikTok is my lowest channel at like 22,000 followers or whatever. So it's turned into a new episode of Streamer Secrets, right? Another episode of how to make a living as a content creator and streamer. Riser says I'm hyped to play Starfield again when the update comes out. Thanks, Detroit. Appreciate it. So yeah, I mean, it definitely mattered in the early days. I would definitely tell people, make sure to do everything on YouTube, because YouTube was the only place that was monetized. And then I got monetized in other places, and you know, YouTube is still the biggest income earner, but it's a pretty rounded system these days. What's up, Cornish? Thanks for the membership over on Twitch. Twitch sub, I should say. Starfield does rock, Bubbles. Someone says I was one of the only people reminding everyone about Crimson Desert not necessarily having a great story, and for everyone to temper their expectations, and that was a very based opinion. I was just very realistic about... I'm also very realistic about this game. By the way, I get tons of people who will claim I glaze Starfield. If you actually sit here and listen to me talk about this game, we complain about stuff in Starfield all the time. I have complained about the lack of POIs. It's a legitimate complaint. It's a legitimate complaint to say that Starfield has repetitive POIs after you've been to like 50 different planets. Legitimate. That's a legit complaint. For sure. It's also a piece of feedback that they took to heart and are adding more things in the Freelanes update. So give credit where it's due. I have chewed Crimson Desert to shreds over little things. Today they added I could take my helmet off now. Give credit where it's due. Congratulations, developers, for making your game better. You gave me more armor for my cat, more outfits that I could put on my cat in Crimson Desert. Fuck yeah, you made your game better. Give credit where credit is due. I definitely criticize Starfield, and have since the beginning. Do I have my own dev company? I still maintain one active game studio, yes, but we don't have any active projects at the moment.
Then let Ryujin Industries help you get there. Fill out an application today to become part of the most advanced technology corporation in the settled systems.
There you go, Commander. You could definitely always reach out during a stream to get answers for things when we're playing Starfield. Cross says, I found your channel when you first discovered No Man's Sky Worlds Part 1 and have enjoyed the content since. Fell off Starfield back in 2024, but I've recently jumped back in looking forward to PS5 coverage. That was one of those examples of a game that just popped off for me. I'd never played No Man's Sky. I went to help my brother move, got back from that trip, and No Man's Sky was blowing up because of Worlds Part 1. And I was like, you know what? That looks really good. I'm going to go try that game. And I went and played it, and I blew up. That was the game, by the way. No Man's Sky was the game that took me from being a 3-hour-a-day streamer to an 8-hour-a-day streamer. I did not consider myself a streamer until No Man's Sky Worlds Part 1. I always streamed 3 hours a day, but I never called myself a streamer. I called myself a content creator who also happens to stream, because I spent the vast majority of my time, like 8 hours a day, making guides and reviews and like uploads for YouTube, because that paid way better than streaming, because I didn't have a big audience. No Man's Sky Worlds Part 1 was when my audience got big enough that I was able to make more money streaming than I was making content creating. So I transitioned and started streaming 6 to 8 hours a day, because that allowed me to make enough money from streaming to move over from full-time content creation into full-time streaming with content creation as a side gig. And it has remained so since then. But I credit No Man's Sky with being the game that popped me off, because I started playing Worlds Part 1. Also, thanks for the super chat. Peon, $10 super chat. Longtime Starfield enjoyer off and on, but only recently found you on YouTube. Thanks to the algorithm, been enjoying the streams and vids. Cheers. Well, thank you for the support. Appreciate it. But yeah, No Man's Sky, I went from having like an average audience of like 13 to 15 people, like having bigger days when I would have 30 to 50. And then really big days would be like Baldur's Gate 3 or Starfield to have like 120 people watching, you know, across my platforms. I hit No Man's Sky. I think the first week I was playing Worlds Part 1, I hit Kingmaker's slot on Twitch like 2 times or 3 times in a week, which meant I had like 150 to 200 people watching me on Twitch, and then like 150 to 200 people watching me on YouTube. And suddenly I went from having an average maybe like 30 people watching, like on a big day, 30 to 50. I also had like 200 people watching. So now we always do this based on the games we play, but No Man's Sky was definitely the game that took me from being a 3-hour-a-day streamer to streaming for like 6 to 8 hours a day and doing content creation on the side. And then it's just grown since then. So we're 2 years past that now. Maybe not quite 2 years, like a year and a half since then. Anthony Green says, I found you by accident. You were streaming Cyberpunk, I think. Some guy said something really stupid. You played some music as you kicked him out. I followed you for like 6 months. Oh, our band music? You can credit Bubbleonia for the band music. That is our band song. You want to play that just for funsies? Let's play the band music just for funsies. No one's actually getting banned right now, but we'll play the band music for funsies. Thanks to Bubbles for that. Starfield is criminally underrated. It is a good game. That was a freebie. Nobody actually got banned. I don't often do it with that Ewok because that text, I can't show that image on TikTok, so no one on TikTok hears the music. So normally what I do is I just play the audio version because that goes out on all the platforms that we're streaming on. So I haven't used the text version in a while, but I have that embedded in my stream elements so that people can read the lyrics as it sings along. You know what I could do though? Nah, it won't work. Never mind. I'm running two different softwares, so it doesn't work. Well, yeah, my Starfield stuff has always done good machine. It's a good go-between on all the other things that we play. All right. Well, we found out the secret. All right. Let me go to. Who is James Newell, and where is he at? He's here on Neon. It's easier for people who already have a taste for Bethesda RPGs to get into Starfield, but I've always enjoyed it. It does have a lot of unused potential. I think that it's a Bethesda game through and through, first and foremost. It is a science fiction RPG second most. But someone made a critique the other day. They were like, one of the things I really don't like is that Cyberpunk 2077 lets me do X, Y, and Z.
I've had enough, Rosa. Seaguard's gone too far.
And then I go play Starfield and there's no blood and there's none of this X, Y, and Z. And I was like, because what you just described is an R-rated game versus a PG-13 game. Starfield is a PG-13 Bethesda game. Bethesda games are PG-13 games. Bethesda does not make R-rated games. Bethesda makes games for everyone, including children, to play, right? There are some adult themes in Bethesda games, but they are not adult-based games. Cyberpunk 2077, that's a hard R. That is an adult game. Children should not be playing that game, and I fucking love Cyberpunk 2077. It is a phenomenal game. We just did a partial third playthrough before the holidays where I was running through trying to do a Judy romance with a female cybernet. Anyway, great game. Not even the same. It's not the same thing. Trying to compare those two games is a ridiculously stupid thing to do because they're not the same thing. Like, there is some stuff in Starfield that is, you know, there's a little bit of blood, there's a little bit of adult content, but it's a PG-13 experience versus an hard R experience. Not the same thing. And I don't want them to be the same thing. I don't want Bethesda games to be a hard R experience. I like Bethesda being that family-friendly, like... Yeah, but even the violence in Fallout it's comedic violence. It's not gore for the sake of gore. Like, there is some stuff like the crucifixion storyline in Cyberpunk. That's the perfect example of what I'm talking about. That is a hard R, like, people wanting to do a brain dance of a dude getting crucified live. Like, there's some fucked up shit in Cyberpunk 2077. That doesn't exist. Even in Fallout, which has blood and gore, it's not the same thing. It's sort of comedic blood and gore, and exaggerated in some way because of the VATs. Not the same thing as Cyberpunk, where you have these just incredibly twisted storylines with people who are, you know, not cool shit happening because of brain dances and stuff. Like, I don't want to get too deep into it because, you know, it's just a completely different experience.
We're fully stocked and ready to sell.
This was the
fully
one
stocked on
about
supplies today.
Welcome to Newell's. If you're looking for any specific goods, Rosa and I guarantee we'll beat Sieghart's lousy selection every time.
Oh, this is the one about the guild thing, I think. Healthy competition is one of the cornerstones of owning a business.
I understand that. But when you're dealing with a snake like Siegert,
I'm not either,
commerce
Machine.
practices go right out the window. That
Like,
man has
we don't
absolutely
want...
no respect
I don't
for
want
the
every game to be the
business
same.
community on
I need
Neon.
Bethesda games to feel like
He
Bethesda
skips
games. I
merchant
need CD
meetings
Projekt
and
Red games to
refuses
feel
to
like CD Projekt
participate
Red
in any
games.
of our
I want
group
BioWare
buys.
games to feel like
First
BioWare
of
games.
all, he
Like, I
pays
want to be able to
off Neon
identify those
security to keep his
unique
place safe.
experiences by the companies that make those games and enjoy them for what they offer. I do not want every game to be a carbon copy of everything. No one does, trust me. Because if that was the case, all we would have would be Call of Duties and Fortnites. That's all we would have. If everything was a carbon copy of the most successful things, it would just be Call of Duty and Fortnite everywhere. Quick, everyone say CP 2077. That is hilarious. Dark Strider says, this reminds me of fans complaining about games that have a paid DLC for Blood Effects. I can't answer that question. You're better off asking
was it something
Bubbleoni
I
or
said?
Thorgan or people who are heavy into the mod scene. I'm not heavy into the mod scene, so I can't tell you what's good to spend your money on because I don't spend my money on mods. I can hear Lucas out there hollering bloody murder. He's begging mommy for food. Alright, for all you know, maybe he doesn't have a choice.
Everyone has a choice. Some are simply more difficult than others. The only way to fight Neon security is if all the merchants unify and push back on these unreasonable rules. Anyway, sorry. I know I can get a little intense about these things. If you'll forgive the outburst and have a look around, I'm sure you'll find something you might want to buy.
I can go talk to him if you'd like me to. Wait, actually, you know what? Is all of Neon's security corrupt?
I'd say the majority of the guards are rotten, and the few who aren't simply take a paycheck and look the other way. They have Neon completely under their control. The Freestar Collective's own security doesn't even maintain a presence here. If it wasn't for the Freestar Rangers outpost, there wouldn't be a shred of justice in this entire city.
I can go talk to him if you'd like.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. That'd be extremely helpful. I honestly don't know what to say.
Yeah, you saying thank you might be nice.
Yes, of course. On behalf of Rosa and I, thank you. Just be careful when you're dealing with Sigurd. He can be surprisingly unreasonable when he's cornered.
Have you tried speaking to Sigurd yourself?
The first time I brought up the subject, we got into a huge argument. Sigurd said he had every intention of paying Neon security and that it was final. After that, I tried to speak to him a few times, but he's always been too busy to spend the time to sit down and have a decent conversation. It's obvious he has no intentions of talking to me anymore. I honestly don't know what I did to make him so angry with me.
What's the story with you and Rosa?
I arrived in Neon almost, 20 years ago? I had gotten a job at Xenofresh through a friend and started working on the loading docks. After a few years, they moved me up to Kazanbass processing, and that's where I met Rosa for the first time. She was my supervisor, but we hit it off right away. It wasn't long before we decided to quit Xenofresh, get married, and start our own business. We've been in love ever since.
It's an awesome story, bro.
Of course. I have a huge inventory to choose from.
Let me try to sell some stuff. Don't want to sell that. I am going to sell that. I am definitely going to sell that. I don't mind.
Watch your back out there.
Where did Sarah go? Oh, there she is.
Poor James. He's
Rosa,
been so out
sorry.
of sorts lately. Oh, he'll be so upset for me telling you this. But it's such a funny story. I can't resist. James and I used to work on the Kazanbass line at Xenofresh. We didn't do any of the Aurora extraction, just dealt with the leftovers. I was a supervisor on the line, and when the alarm went up that it had been stopped, I investigated. I find James inside a storage vat, up to his shoulders in stinky fish guts and blind as a bat. The gut got in his eyes, you see. I had to walk him to the showers, strip his work clothes, and hose him down. When he saw me standing there, he turned bright red.
That's a good... I've never listened to her tell
After
this
the
story
shift
before.
ended, we went out for a Terra brew and talked. A year later, we were married. Better times. Better times.
When I see stuff like this, and then I hear people say things like, Starfield doesn't have any content. Starfield is an empty game. There's nothing to do in Starfield. I call bullshit. I call bullshit every time, because there's stuff like this littered all throughout the game, and that's why I have close to 600 hours in the game. You cannot tell me that this is not content. You cannot tell me that this is not entertainment. Somebody wrote this. Somebody voice acted this. Somebody animated this. Somebody put the time in to have the lore of the Kimbass facility, which you can actually visit and go down to. There are quests that you can do in the Kimbass facility.
Are you all right?
What's up, Shiny? What's your opinion about Dietrich?
Dietrich is actually quite a lovely man. Though lately he's been under a lot of pressure, which has made him rather bitter.
Yeah, it's only
When
people
we
who
first
play
opened our
FPS
business
shooters.
here in Akuchi Market, he was actually very helpful. Offered us advice. Didn't treat us like competition at all. I'm sorry, I just don't believe Dietrich is doing anything wrong paying off Neon security.
Okay.
We all do what we have to do to survive in this wretched
Yeah.
city.
Can this NPC shut up? I just want content.
That fighting City
Skip.
Hall is the way
Skip.
to solve all of Neon's
Skip.
problems.
Skip.
I think he's wrong.
Dialogue isn't content. Quests aren't content.
Please, we have a lot to offer.
Does she have the same menu as her husband? No, she has a different menu. Oh. I think this week, every time I've played the game, we have uncovered new things because of people in chat. What was yesterday? Yesterday was, God, I don't remember what yesterday was. The day before was we could rename ships, weapons, and suits, which I didn't know. Oh, photo mode. I didn't know that you could I didn't know you could get into the photo mode that quickly. Where did I pick that up? That's like a Boba Fett, like Jabba the Hutt palace kind of looking helmet. Yeah, the photo shortcut. That was yesterday. Apparently I've been keeping all this stuff on ice forever. Alright. Yeah, yesterday was the photo shortcut, which I had no clue about. Just like, bloop! Now we're in photo mode. I was like, what the fuck, man? I've been doing it the hard way for 2.5 years. Wasted 6 clicks. No. But it sucks to be you, Duchess Sterling. IGN said this update isn't worth it, so I'm not trying it. I feel sorry for your parents, Duchess Sterling, to have raised such a sheep. Bah! I'm gonna do what other people tell me. Bah! I'm gonna do what someone else tells me to do. I'm not gonna think for myself. I'm gonna follow someone else's opinion. Meh! Sheep! Sheep! Lead me, guide me. I don't have opinions of my own. Wait, doesn't that sound like... Well, yeah, we can't say that. But you're definitely, yeah, I feel sorry for your parents. That's sad. I know, Machine, the fact that it's been #1 bestseller on PlayStation as the premium edition every single day since it was announced, it says there was 2 tears in a bucket. Fuck it. That's a good one. I've never heard that. I've never heard that, Chip Reeves. I have never heard 2 tears in a bucket. Fuck it. That is brilliant. Oh, God. I might have to go in the corner and cry a little bit, guys. That's funny shit. 2 tears in a bucket. Bucket. Oh, man. Oh, sure they did, honey. Sure they did. You know what that is, everybody? See ya, bitch. Hammer strikes. We got to ban a bitch for real, guys. 2 hours and 45 minutes into the stream, we finally got to ban a bitch. See ya! There you go, Lucas. There's Bubbleoni is giving you a great lowdown on mods. IGN is like any other outlet. It's heavily dependent upon who the reviewer is, who is reviewing the game. I think it's, you know, they, like PC Gamer and any other media outlet, are useful in the grand scheme of doing your due diligence, of saying, I want to learn as much as I can about something before I purchase a product. I'm going to listen to the influencers. I'm going to listen to the content creators. I'm going to listen to the media outlets, and I'm going to take all of that information and hopefully be able to make an educated decision on whether something is worth a purchase or not based on what everyone is saying. So I am definitely not someone who says things like IGN is a shit place. They're not a shit place. I agree with some of their reviews. I don't disagree, or I agree with some of them. I disagree with some of them. I agree with PC Gamer sometimes, disagree with PC Gamer sometimes. The IGN First series is always stellar and incredibly well put together. Deep dive into a game before it comes out. Watch the IGN Firsts series for any game that's coming out. Is a flawless look at games with no review associated with it. It's just a look at the upcoming content. Reviews can be depending on the reviewer. So the best thing to do if you're looking at IGN as an outlet is to find the reviewers that resonate with you the most, because they have different reviewers on staff. And just because someone reviews a game doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just that's what that reviewer said. There's an editor who edits that and decrees whether or not it's something that's worthy of being published. But as an educated human being in the 21st century, you should be looking at all outlets, taking everything with a grain of salt, and then making up your own mind based upon your own due diligence. The Forza Horizon 6 gameplay from IGN has been great. Their first series is always great for every single game. I've loved that series for the past, 4 or 5 years that they've been doing it. Do I have a general number of how many people I've banned? Oh no, it's got to be in the thousands at this point. I would have no way of knowing that, but I bet it's in the thousands. Because we're in our 5th year of doing this full time, and I ban people. Yeah, I bet it's in the thousands. Some weeks are worse than other weeks. Some days are worse than other days. It's almost a daily basis these days. Machine says, for example, Travis at IGN reviewed both Marathon and Crimson Desert. I like him a lot because I know he's critical with most games. There's more deep dive from Bubbalonia on paid mods that are worth it for Starfield. I don't think I have the record. I think Pirate Software probably holds the record for most people banned. I think he went on a rampage a couple years back when he was getting hit with all the World of Warcraft hate, and people were like trying to SWAT his house and get his ferret rescue shut down and everything else. Like, that was some legitimate stupid shit that people were doing to him just because of a controversy over a fucking video game. And I remember his mods went nuts one day and they banned like thousands of people over the course of a couple of days. But that's also, you know, he had like 20,000 people a day watching his streams. That's a lot different than me. I think my biggest day has been like 750 people watching in total. So I'm a long way of hitting thousands per day. Tears in a bucket, fuck it. Man, that was great. Huge list, guys. If you guys are looking for tips on paid mods or mods in general for Starfield, please hit up the YouTube channel. And look at the YouTube chat right now. Bubbleonia is listing off a ton of great mods. The Almighty SE makes creations focusing on the 5 to 7 hours worth of content, quests, locations, stories. Big recommend. Xenomaster by Ghostwriter 231. The Antari series by Deskel are excellent ship creations. Bedlam for randomized encounters. Zone 79 for outfits and gear. X2357 for skins. Bard and Will NY4 for outposts. Sweet Pea 704 for handmade new items for decorating ships and outposts. Sweet Pea was in chat yesterday, by the way. And Sweet Pea was just on the Starfield podcast that aired on Wednesday night, which I will be on the 15th, which is from Pedro, who put together the StarCon. He's got a new podcast for Starfield called Starfield After Dark. I'll be doing some more, etc. $9.99 super chat from Dravik Mystigor, who said you literally banned a Bethesda dev on YouTube that commented on your video. You can't take criticism at all or deal with other people's opinions on the game. You're toxic and worthless. Thanks for the $10, Dravik Mystigor. Do you know what we're going to do with you right now? We're going to take that $10 and say thanks and then delete your comment and hide you from the channel. See ya, bitch! By the way, we have never banned a legitimate developer ever. Hang on, guys. I got a specialty thing we're going to drop right now. We're not even going to give him the music. Hang on, but we are going to drop this in chat. Give me 2 seconds. Here we go, guys. Troll Tears fuel my retirement. Here's a link to the merch store. Dropping that in all the chats. Thank you so much for your support, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for the super chat. Bye, Felicia. Continuing onwards, Bubbleoni says, I could go on forever, but that should get you started. Darkstar and Watchtower for big DLC conversions, but wait on those until they're updated post-DLC launch. There's a bunch of others. Thorgan Ironside knows more about shipbuilding than I do rock and roll. Follow him everywhere. Yes! We shared Thorgan's Twitter out yesterday for the screenshots of his ship builds. I need an orchestra version of the band song for the paid bands. That guy literally paid me $10 to delete his comment and ban him from the chat. By the way, we have never banned a legitimate developer from chat. What I have done is I've had people come into my chat claiming to be developers, and I remember that one in particular. The one he's talking about was maybe a year ago. I had a guy who came into chat and claimed he was a developer. I can't remember. I don't remember if it was Bethesda or not. He claimed he was a developer, and we called him out on it, and we asked him to provide credentials, and he couldn't provide any credentials. And then he emailed me trying to claim that he was emailing from a business email. We went and looked him up. We could not find him as an employee of the company. But it was him, and the funny thing about it was him and like 2 other people at the same time were all like, he would make a comment in YouTube chat, and then 2 other all 3 of which were brand new users to our channel. So he would make a comment, and then 2 other accounts would immediately respond, being like, yeah, and they kept saying things like, Renfail, you should respect this guy. He's a developer. Why aren't you respecting him? Why aren't you giving him respect? Why aren't you bowing before him? He makes the games that you play. You should be thanking him. Blah 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 blah. It was literally that's a troll who's managing different accounts. Thorgan says Bethesda obviously didn't mind you banning the person because they just paid for you to come to their studio. I know, right? So, no, I have never banned a legitimate developer. I have banned people who claimed they were developers. But then when we pressed them on that, they couldn't provide us with any proof that they were employed by the company. And when we looked them up, we couldn't find any reference to them being employed by the company. No LinkedIn references, no social media accounts. Yeah, man, it's that was like a year ago, I think, that happened. The fact that that person just dropped a super chat means that that's probably the same person from like a year ago. It's the same person who created like a new account or something, and he's like still pissed that he got banned. And so he spent $10 to complain. Thanks for the money. Bye. Thanks for the $10. And I delete your message and hide you from the channel. Like it takes nothing. It's no effort for me to ban you for being stupid and toxic and trying to ruin the flow and the fun that we're having here on our chat. God damn. Thanks for the money. Not only did I get free engagement, Thorgan, not only did I get the free engagement out of him, I also got $10, man. $10 is $10. Thanks. Hydrate12 says you're so deep in his head that he donated to you a year later. I know, right? He paid me for the attention. That's literally what you call living rent-free in someone's head, everybody. That's stalker material. And I totally hope that he makes another account and super chats me again to try to get a toxic message across. I'm gonna go buy myself a 6-pack, something. I don't know. I'll get myself something nice. Oh, I love my job, everybody. I'm really glad that we're here to witness this kind of stuff because this is literally oh, premium hate. That's what you call paid hate, kids. It's not pay to win, it's pay to hate. Paid toxicity. Papaloni says he should do a $100 super chat. That would teach him. Farming trolls is an underutilized business niche. I agree. Dino does a really good job on his TikTok account, by the way. Dino does a phenomenal job of trolling people, especially when he gets his wife involved. I did not, Lady Celtic, but I'm glad you pointed that out because Lucas and Leia have been howling for the last 45 minutes. I love how this has become such a regular occurrence on my stream of I gotta go take care of cat dad stuff. That even people in chat are like, hey, did you feed your cats yet? I've been getting away with it because I know Chris is in the kitchen with Lucas and Leia, but I have Smeagol. Smeagol is right here, actually. Smeagol, for the second day this week, has been in here sleeping in this bed. He hasn't moved, so he's not worried about food right now. But I do need to go feed the cats, so thank you for the reminder. I'll be right back. Turns out Chris got so sick of listening to Luke and Leia cry that she gave them a snack in the meantime. So they got a small portion. And he is so out of it, he didn't even wake up when he heard me feeding the rest of the cats. So he'll get his food later. He's apparently sleeping through dinner time today. Did somebody donate some more while I was AFK? Hang on a second, I gotta get caught up on chat. Hang on. ¿Tú estabas afuera con él? No. We have no clue who you were talking about, Beaverman11, but thanks for the $4.99 super chat. And bye. Another $5 in troll fees. I can tell you that performance mode on the Xbox Series X looks great. I can show you it really quick. We're in quality mode right now. It's going to be the same thing on the PS5. So we can go in here into, go into the settings, display. Exactly, Stephen Hunter. Exactly. We'll prioritize. I think it's right here. Performance, and then back, and then back, and then back, and then back. So this is performance mode on the Xbox Series X, which is very similar to the PS5. And as you can see, I would say that the textures are a little toned down compared to quality mode. You could definitely see a little bit lesser texture quality. Neon's a great place to test this kind of stuff out because there's lots of NPCs on screen and lots of NPCs, lots of
Another derelict vessel has been found.
hang on, I gotta scroll over and check that out. So somebody just did a membership. Commander Red Rum just upgraded himself to a guild captain membership on YouTube. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. So anyway, this is essentially what the PS5 performance mode is going to look like. It's just like this. But I run in quality mode. So, because quality mode does target 60 frames, and it runs the settings, it's completely flawless. It was not this good at launch. They have definitely made the performance on this game way better since launch, because on launch, this was locked to 30 frames on the Xbox. And even when they initially added the frame rate stuff, it was still performant. You know, it takes some performance hits here and there, but I have not seen any issues for like the past year and a half. Like, I don't have any issues running quality mode, targeting 60 frames. It's smooth as buttery silk. We're not playing on the PS5 because it doesn't come out until Tuesday. So, sorry. You gotta pay the troll toll. Troll fees. Exactly, Lucas. Who the fuck is the guy he named? Go Google that person, guys. If you can find a legitimate person with that name working at Bethesda, I will eat crow. I have never found that person. I was just at Bethesda. I never met said person. I don't know who that person is. It's not a... Again, this was like a year ago that this happened. I remember the guy clearly because he came into chat claiming that he had done world building for like one of the zones or two of the zones or something. And it was like, awesome, cool. But then when I didn't immediately be like, bow down, there's a dev in my chat, like that person, this is like, again, this was like a year ago. That person came into chat and said like, I'm a dev, I built this zone. And I went, cool. And then that person didn't like the fact that I said cool and I didn't like bow down. And immediately like two other people in chat were like, why aren't you celebrating this person? Why aren't you thanking them? Why aren't you making a big deal out of this being a dev in your chat? And it's like, bitch, please. I have formed 2 game studios. I've raised millions of dollars in funding. I've launched an MMO. I've done a tabletop game. I've, like, who the fuck do I need to bow down to? They did a zone or 2? Who gives a fuck? Like, congratulations if you're working in the developer space. But I'm not going to bow down and suck your because you built something. Like, I've done it. I've been at the head of the company. I've been the CEO. I've been the creative director. I've done VFX. I've done world building. I've done all those things and more. I'm not bowing down to someone because they did something in a video game. Like, duh. And then it was like, then it turned into this thing where the person was like, constantly, like, kept reiterating, well, why aren't you recognizing my hard work? And then the 2 other accounts would be like, yeah, why aren't you recognizing their hard work? And I let it go on, and then I was like, well, send me your proof. And he sent me an email from like, and he claimed it was a business email from Bethesda, and it's like, there was zero proof, like, zero proof of anything, like, no LinkedIn, no social media profile, nothing under that name, zero proof of that person being a legitimate. And then like the 2 other accounts, this is again like a year ago. I vaguely remember it though, because I distinctly remember the world building thing. Like, why aren't you worshiping my work on the game? And it's like, whatever, the fuck out of here. And I do not regret that for an instant. That was not a legitimate person. Oh, I remember how I left it off. I distinctly remember saying this. I said, if you are a legitimate developer working on the project, please have your representative, your boss, the PR team, reach out to me, and I would be happy to get on a call in a Discord message with you and the team lead to talk about the work you did on the game. That's literally, I distinctly remember that being the way I ended that confrontation before I banned the person. I said, have your team lead get back to me, and we will schedule a video call on Discord, and we will do a celebration of the work that you've done, and we'll show off the work that you've done, and we'll do a big video on YouTube about what the cool work. And that person, they ghosted me. Never got back to me. Never got an email from any team lead. Never heard back from anybody about anything. Not a real person. Not a real dev. Real people have resumes that you can track down online. Real people would have been happy to get their team lead to reach out to a YouTuber to do a video about their game. It's free publicity. Not a legitimate developer. Not a legitimate person. That is a troll. 100%. And I will stand by that statement until such time as a legitimate official from the company reaches out to me and says, hey, Renfail, remember how you were just at Bethesda Game Studios a couple weeks back for the in-person Starfield event? I'm so-and-so from the game studio, and we'd like to sit down with you with these developers, one of whom is this person. If that legitimately ever happens, I will eat crow and say that I'm sorry. But until it does, and I guarantee you it won't ever happen, I stand by the fact that I don't think that's a legitimate person. It's fake. Fake! But I'll wait. I know people at the company, like, literally. Like, better yet, get Cammy to reach out. Get Cammy to reach out and set it up. There's the further challenge. Have Cammy reach out to me and say, hey, Tim, I've got these people here. If Cammy reaches out and confirms that, I will eat crow live. I will come on a stream and I will say, "I'm so sorry. My bad. My mistake. I will eat crow." There's the challenge. I'll wait. I just talked to her like 3 days ago about the Starfield launch on Tuesday. Gauntlet thrown, bitch! I love that question. Is this the first PS5 playthrough of Starfield you've done? Yes, this is the first PS5 playthrough of Starfield I've done. Absolutely. This is my skin for the PS5. I don't know if you've ever seen this. This is the Xbox skin for the PS5. So it's a really cool skin that you can get for your PS5 Pro, which looks like an Xbox, but it's not. I promise you, this is an actual PS5 running Starfield right now. Oh god. Neon City is awesome, turned all the way up on PC. Nice. Yes, it does look good on performance mode as well. Crimson says, do I think the main story has too quick of pacing with how it's trying to push towards the temples and becoming stubborn constantly without breaks? No. I mean, that's the main story. Like, Skyrim does the same thing. Like, if you follow the main story on Skyrim, you're pushed into dragon shouts within the first, like, 3 hours of the game. Like, that's just the main story. So it's entirely up to you about how you handle the main story and if you rush through it or if you split it up and go do other things. But that's why this is literally Skyrim in space. It's the exact same pacing as Skyrim. Is there a preload for PS5? There is on the 5th, which is tomorrow. I don't know if that's the preload for everything, but there's definitely a preload for the PS5. Ralph says, I almost believed you. Scuba Todd. Hang on, I'm answering a Discord thing here real quick. Twitch.
If they want to tear themselves to shreds, let them. As long as all that stays out of the plaza, our job is done.
I've already done a ton of shipbuilding, and there's a bunch of shipbuilding guides on my channel, Stephen Hunter. I don't know that I'm going to go too deep on shipbuilding in the PS5 version of the game right out of the gate, because I'm very happy with the existing ships, and I really want to get to the new ships from the Terran Armada stuff. So, but I have already done lots of shipbuilding in the past, and I have shipbuilding guides. I think we just did an updated shipbuilding guide like a month ago. Let me go look. The 2026 edition was on March 6, 2026. So about a month ago. Like almost exactly a month ago, I published a brand new shipbuilding guide on YouTube. I've already played thousands of hours in Star Wars: Young Republic, so I don't feel compelled to play that very often anymore. What's up, Bardicus? Doing great, thanks. Answer those in. No, we had some. We had a good question in Discord. Someone was asking about how do I manage? How do I like? Where does? How do I? Do, let me read the exact question. How do you monitor multiple chats? Do you have a merged chat, or do you have 4 different chat windows open? So I was answering. I have a merged chat, which is what I see on Stream Elements, which shows me YouTube, Twitch. Here, I can even show you guys this. Like, well, you're not gonna be able to see it that way. That monitor right there. So this chat right here, that's YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. This docked window right here is Twitch chat. So I see all 4 chats. This is the merged chat. And then right here, this is a docked window that I pull over from the TikTok app. So I have to stream TikTok. TikTok is its own software. So it has its own chat window, but I can undock it from the TikTok software, and I pull it over here onto the second monitor where I just put it on top of OBS Stream Elements, and I run it through here. So I see all 4 of the chats are right here in front of me. And then over here, you're not gonna be able to see very well, but over here is like the filter for like memberships and super chats and everything else. So I see when people do something. Plus I have an audio queue set up now. And then down here is all my like audio stuff and scene stuff for the browser windows and all that good stuff. So yeah, everything's in one place on the second monitor. And then up there is the third monitor, which is technically the laptop screen, which I don't ever use. It's just got like a image on it. And then this is my main monitor, which only shows me the capture card stuff. So this is just where my capture card goes. I have a maximize window here, and then behind that is like Google Chrome and everything. And if I need to, I sometimes I have to, so I don't pull a window over like other people do. I just will open up a separate tab like this, and I'll just have that as a window that opens up. I know a lot of other streamers will have like, they'll drag the image onto the monitor, because what they do is they share the monitor screen. I don't share the monitor image, I share the window. And the reason for that is because I have Google open behind the scenes, and I'm often looking at things and doing Google searches and stuff on this monitor, and I don't necessarily need all that being shown. So anyway, that's how you do that. Or that's how I do it anyway. Everybody's got their own system of how they do that. When I did the MSQ for Starfield, what level were you when you finished? I didn't do it that way, so I don't know. When first time I played the game, I did, like, the MSQ was like the last thing I did, literally. So I played hours and hours and hours of the game. I had like 160 hours in my first playthrough, I think. I don't remember exactly. The vast majority of those hours were me flying around space, blowing space pirates out of the sky, because that was the funnest thing in the world for me, was the space combat. And I did the MSQ at the very end of that playthrough. I did all the faction quests first. I did all the side quests. I did all the missions. I did everything I wanted to see. I didn't do all the factions. That's not true, because I did a roleplay playthrough with my space scoundrel. Are you waking up? Are you waking up, buddy? Are you ready to say hi to everybody? Hi. Good afternoon. You about ready for dinner? Oh, you're definitely thinking about waking up. You're just a big boy. You're just a big boy. Yeah. Oh, that's a big yawn. Hi. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that character's like level 45 or something, because I never took him through the Unity.
You wanna head to Euphorica after work tonight?
Nah, I'm feeling a little burnt out. I think I need a break.
How about hitting up the rooftops and watching lightning hit the span?
You know, that actually sounds like a good idea.
Great.
Come on
I'll bring the
please,
bread,
have a
you bring
good
the
look
chunks.
around.
It's a date. It'd be
Nothing
nice
more
to get away
relaxing
from
than
the
watching
clubs.
the lightning strikes. Well, as long as you're not afraid of
Will I do
lightning.
mods after the PS5 playthrough? Yes, that is the current plan, but it is very dependent upon other new releases. So my journey into mods with Starfield and also Skyrim and Fallout 4, because I know Bubbaloni really wants me to try the Sims Settlement 2 mod, and I would like to do that at some point. There's also some forthcoming stuff from Kingath Creations I'd like to check out. And I still haven't seen the Bard's College, which is Skyrim. So I do plan on circling back around at some point throughout the course of this year and into next year and checking out mods for all of these Bethesda games. But that is very much dependent on other new releases. So it depends on my schedule.
Welcome to Sick Heart's Outfitters. Everything you need to explore the settled systems. If I don't have it, you don't need it.
I'll take every artifact you have in stock.
An artifact?
Fable is definitely on
Are
the list.
you making this up? Well, like I said, if I don't have it, you don't need it. But I have a lot of other things you need.
This guy's a good
I've spent
salesman.
years perfecting my business by polling customers, measuring sales, and carefully adjusting my inventory to cater to just about everyone. So take your time, look around, ask me questions. You won't be disappointed.
That Bubblegum Bitch song has been in my head for like 3 days now, and it won't stop. And to be fair, Marina is hot and she's a great singer. Quite an impressive shop you have here.
Thank you for noticing. I have a lot of overhead in this place, and just between you and me, I am up to my eyeballs in debt. This is a prime spot, right next to the spaceport terminal, but the bills and the rent here are astronomical.
Should be making a fortune.
You'd think that, right? Unfortunately, I'm barely scraping by. Anyway, I don't want to bore you with the details of my business all day. You're here to shop. So why don't you help out a poor shopkeeper like myself and buy something?
Maybe your store would be more successful outside of Neon.
My dear mother would have said the same thing. The fees here are quite expensive, and I'm barely making ends meet. But I've always been quite stubborn. It has not always been easy, but I've been at this location for 8 years, and I won't give up. My business is my pride and joy. You won't find another store like mine on Neon, so please support my business with your patronage. You won't be disappointed.
What about your Neon security protection fees?
Yes, I'm aware of James's objections. That's partly why I don't go to the meetings. But if I don't pay Dexler, I'll lose my business. And what good would joining the Alliance do then? So, really, I don't have a choice here. If they want to fight Neon security, they can. But I need to protect my livelihood.
Unless if the Alliance is unified, you can stand up to the Neon security.
Easy for him to say. He doesn't have my debts. If I don't pay Dexler, I might lose my inventory. And if I lose my inventory, I'll lose my store.
I think you should stop the payment.
And why is that?
Lucas says, looking at the dialogue options, it reminds me of another thing I heard or read everywhere, which is no consequences to anything. Do quests and side quests have different endings? Yes, they absolutely do have different endings, which is why I do roleplay playthroughs. And why I did a roleplay playthrough through my first 2 playthroughs, which was the first playthrough and this playthrough. But knowing what I know now about all the things, like, you know, my PlayStation playthrough will be a little bit different. Okay, let's see here. Rosa says she knows why you're paying Dex up. She said you're a good man to stand up to corruption.
Rosa said that? I remember when her and James first started. They were very green. It was a different time. Okay, you've convinced me. I will stop paying Dexler his safety assurance fee. And tell the Newells I will come to the next meeting. Maybe I will even bring some beverages and snacks. You can't stand up to Neon security on an empty stomach.
That's very true. Speaking of empty stomachs, I am about ready for dinner. Smeagol has not gotten up. He's still bathing himself, though, so...
Cause any trouble?
I know all the other cats already ate. I'm supposed to be going and getting a chicken salad here in a little bit.
Equipment and accessories for all your
Feel like making a purchase today? Hey there. Welcome to Newell's.
Dietrich has agreed to stop payments.
Well, I'll be. And all you had to do was... talk to him?
Sometimes that's enough.
Meanwhile, I was so damn stubborn, I made this whole thing harder than it had to be.
Yes, you did.
Given you almost went blind, working with half a kilo of fish cuts in your eye. Yeah, I'd agree.
And I'd still be wandering around that storage vat helpless, if not for you. Thanks for your help on this. The Merchants Alliance is finally united. I don't know if we'll ever get a fair shake in the city, but it's a start.
Now, James, I don't want you to get upset, but Administrator Bayou came by while you were out.
Oh, yeah? His Majesty decided to come down from his throne and walk amongst us peasants?
Walk amongst the peasants?
He said he wanted to personally thank us for our contributions to the city. and hopes for our continued support.
All right,
I'm
folks,
sorry.
that is a good place for me to wrap for
Our
the night.
contributions?
We're
Those
3.5
taxes we
hours
pay are
into
a
the second
sham,
stream of the
so
day.
he can line his ivory
I'm gonna go get
trade
myself a
tower
chicken
with
salad,
another layer of
get
gold.
Spiegel some food. There are more videos coming out
It'll be so nice
this
to
afternoon
have
and
Dietrich
evening
at the
on
Merchants
YouTube.
Alliance meetings again.
So make sure to get over there and check them out. And don't forget that tomorrow's new player video, excuse me, new player guide for the PS5 is already live
I
for
had to
channel
chase
members
more
on
zone
YouTube, but
heads
will
out
go
of
out
here
to the general
today.
public tomorrow
I
morning.
don't think they even knew what planet they were on.
And
They're just
if you
kids
missed
having
the
fun,
update this
James.
afternoon, we shared a video
Don't
out
kid
of
yourself,
our
Rosa.
forest property that we
Aurora
bought
isn't
last year
fun.
on the Homestead
It's a
YouTube channel, which
poison,
you can find on
and
all
it
my
needs to be
social
taken
medias
off the
or over in the
streets.
Discord.
James,
For those of you who
please,
want
it's
to
not
follow
just
that
the
kind of stuff.
Aurora.
We don't publish
Its
content there
administrator,
that
Bayview.
frequently.
As long as he's
That's
in
like the
charge,
background
city will
thing,
just get
the hobby
worse
thing.
and worse.
So you can check that stuff out. Don't forget to go check out Gray, who is streaming lots of Crimson Desert. Bubblelonia, who's streaming lots of Bethesda content, but getting ready to do a whole month of Starfield ahead. Thorgan for more Starfield stuff. Sweet Pete for more Starfield stuff. Lots of mods and ships builds and other stuff. And etc. Do I have a link? Oh, I need to get... Bubblelonia has a really cool spreadsheet that he uses for his streams, which I totally need to go, and he makes it public to people, but I've just been too lazy to plug it in, which actually, when somebody shows up in chat, it automatically promotes their stuff and shares links to their stuff.
If you have a bit
I'm
of
just
money
really
to
lazy about that
spend,
kind of
we
stuff.
could really use your business.
It's Bubblelonia Rising, so you can find him on Twitch and YouTube. Anything else I'm missing? Tomorrow is Sunday. I will have my final review out tomorrow morning for Crimson Desert. I am not sure if I'm going to stream Destiny 2 tomorrow. I have been streaming Destiny 2 on Sundays for quite a while. But I'm not sure what we're going to do tomorrow morning. I'm done with the Crimson Desert streams for sure. Today was the last stream. I'm going to do my final review tomorrow. I'm not sure what we're going to do tomorrow. I have tomorrow, because it's a me day and I kind of want to try these games out. I might do this tomorrow. We might do Disco Elysium tomorrow. I've never played it. So we might try that tomorrow morning. How do you dock, says Susanok? Susanok, if you're within 500 meters of a space station or ship, you need to have the ship or station targeted within 500 meters, and you will have two options. One is hail, and one is dock. Those are the two options when you are within 500 meters. If you're away, if you're 500 meters or more away, it will just say hail, and you won't have a dock option. But once you're within 500 meters, you will have a dock option. Same thing with looting space debris on Starfield. If you're within 500 meters, you can loot the container. But if you're outside of 500 meters, it's just a thing. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna, I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow morning. Maybe we'll do Fallout 76, Fallout 4, or Disco Elysium. I'm not sure. We'll do something. I could do some more Diablo 4 tomorrow as well, because I need to finish up the storyline to get ready for the launch at the end of the month. Oh, I forgot to mention that I forgot to put that in the list of things I'm playing for the month of April. Oh, I need to update. I can't update that video, but I can add it to the, I need to go make a comment on that video and say also Diablo 4 DLC, which I completely forgot about, because that goes live on like the 28th, which I think is the same day that Saros goes live. Anyway, I'll see everybody tomorrow morning. More videos out on YouTube later today.